tradition.
Here he goes. See you later. And he's got it. Touchdown!
ABC Sports Championship Television.
Ever since the Orange Bowl, I've thought one word every day up until this day, and that's Miami.
Chris Ricks has been punished by Miami throughout his career. Now a senior, this is his last chance for a victory against the Canes. But with a roster full of superstars, Miami has dominated the series recently. And while this game often comes down to wide left or wide right, it has been the Hurricanes who have come out on top in each of the last 5 games. But that has only made the Noles hungry for revenge. It's a grudge match on South Beach next on ABC Sports. Welcome to the BCS Spotlight Game presented by ADT, and it's one of those classic rivalries that defines every college football season, Florida State and Miami, from the Orange Bowl in Miami on a warm, muggy evening. Well, good evening and welcome, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. We certainly did not expect to be ducking Hurricanes to bring you this football game, but it was postponed last Monday night and rescheduled for here tonight. And now the good folks of Florida are hoping and praying that they do not feel the wrath of a third hurricane, Ivan, which is closing in now from the south. And earlier, Hurricane Francis struck the Florida State family in tragic fashion. Florida State coach Bobby Bowden lost the former son-in-law and player, John Allen Madden, and a teenage grandson named after him, Bowden Madden. They were killed in an automobile accident as that storm approached Tallahassee. Our sympathies tonight go out to the entire Bowden family, which includes son Jeff, who is the team's offensive coordinator. I guess, folks, sometimes we all need ball games to escape the harsh realities of everyday life. We welcome my partner, Gary Danielson, to what should be a great ball game here tonight, folks. But, Gary, the question is, how about playing one this big as your first ball game, pluses and minuses?
Well, I think there's a couple of pluses to this. You can really focus your football team on this game. I mean, this is a big game. Every practice, every meeting, the coach has his players' attention. The other plus, you play them late, these two teams will eliminate the losers. These good football teams could come back. Now, I guess the minus would be this big a game without a preseason game like the NFL. You don't really want to blow a game without a dress rehearsal, but it's here you got to play it.
What do you make of the matchup?
Well, you know, we always talk about the great skill in this game, Brent, and we always get mesmerized by the speed. But this has been won by fierce hitting and tough football. It's an Arnold Schwarzenegger game. No room on the field for the girly man.
It has always been that. We go down below to Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, it's the greatest scene in all of college football, but both of these teams have suffered from some cabin fever. A 4-day delay due to those hurricanes, but now the Miami Hurricanes and the Seminoles are ready. But in pregame, there wasn't the bounce in their step. It was like, let's just get this game played. I can't say the same, though, for the crowd. They have been shouting and cheering. They want to get it on.
Thank you, Jack. And before we kick it off, let's check in with the gang in New York. John Saunders, Aaron Taylor, and Craig James.
Brent, thanks a lot, and welcome to the Hartford Mutual Fund's pregame. As we look towards any matchup between Miami and Florida State, it's a huge game. This year, though, it's even bigger because it's a conference matchup.
It's an ACC matchup. It's also a rivalry game. And I don't care how long that these teams have had to wait to play this game. They know each other extremely well. And within a few minutes of being on that football field, warming up there, and you know it, they're going to be jacked up and ready to play.
I'll tell you what, Craig, you know as well as I do that playing in big games like this, one of the things you have to do is deal with is distractions. So I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams come out a little bit rusty. Mental errors, penalties, center quarterback exchanges. I think the team that can handle the adversity and these distractions the best is going to come out favorable.
Who wins and why?
11 of Florida State's last 31 losses have come at the hands of Miami. I'm going to have to go with the Canes on it.
Ooh, I disagree, baby. I really like Florida State. Why? Chris Ricks, the less of two evils.
All right, I still like the Miami Hurricanes because they're at home. As for these two teams, each of them thinks it's their night.
2002, in the Orange Bowl, we should beat them. And we got got back. When we played here in the rain, we should have beat them. We played in the Orange Bowl, we should have beat them. We could have, would have, should have, we didn't. But now it's, it's our time.
Every down is going to be a battle. Blood, sweat, and tears. Every down.
I really believe that we're due against Miami. It's been about 5 years since we've beaten them, so nothing would make me happier than to beat the Hurricanes.
Those 5 previous wins, they don't really mean anything. We just want to win one more.
The Hartford Mutual Funds pregame, brought to you by the Hartford Mutual Funds, for people who are always thinking ahead. We'll be back with the kickoff after these messages.
Something new has been added to this rivalry. This is a conference game for the first time ever. Both Florida State and Miami now competing in the ACC. And Florida State winning the coin toss. As is the custom with almost all coaches, they defer. They prefer to go on defense in a big game. However, Gary Danielson made an interesting point because Miami chose to receive, but they received to the left. And that means that Florida State gets to kick it off, but they get the wind at their back.
Yeah, that's unusual. The first time Miami has the ball, they will go right into about a 15-mile-an-hour wind, I would guess. In warm-ups, it was significant.
Safia Badiab will put the ball on the tee. The senior kicker and the captain of the special teams for Florida State this year. And a young man with unpleasant memories about this rivalry. The kickers for Florida State who have struggled so mightily in games past, and he missed a couple of big fourth quarter. As these two teams met twice last season, once during the regular season and in the Orange Bowl. With the wind at his back, it will be down in the end zone. Devin Hester will take a knee, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Two quarterbacks here tonight have something to prove, and the Miami youngster, Brock Berlin, the senior from Shreveport, Louisiana, will get the first shot. And you can see as we highlight that number, 17, as in 17 interceptions. That's what the young man hopes to cut down throughout the season here for the Canes. They lost back-to-back games. That spoiled their chances playing for a national championship. So first down now for the Canes, and right away they come with Gore, who will start at tailback. He explodes for 13 yards, and aren't fans happy to see him back as Nicholson makes the stop. Number 3, injured the last 2 years, makes an impact.
Doesn't matter where the wind's coming from when you run the ball between the tackles. And this was number 1 priority, wasn't it, Brent, for Florida State? Stop the run game. They've been really hurt by Miami running the ball, and Miami comes right at them with the first play.
Parrish is number 1 at the bottom of your screen. Play fake on first down. Set the screen pass incomplete. So it will be 2nd and 10. But let's take a look now at the Outback Steakhouse starting lineups. So many stories on both of these clubs, the backs and receivers, and the question for Gore, of course, is one of stamina with injuries in each of the last 2 seasons. They'll monitor him carefully before he went down, gaining almost 500 yards and scoring 4 touchdowns. The offensive line realigned for this game. Chris Meyer's first game over there on the right, number 77 at tackle. Tyler McMeans, the guard, a JC transfer, has proven to be tough in scrimmages, and they know it's man-to-man combat when you play the nose. 2nd down and 10. Back with Gore. Sidesteps to the left, and he is brought down by Watkins and Eric Moore as we check in on that Florida State defense. And Eric Moore certainly is a story, number 55, who just made that tackle because he's taking on Winston, the outstanding left tackle. Now here are the youngsters stepping in for last year's starters. Piquion is in there and a very veteran secondary, and they can go 6-7 deep back there. So they have a lot of extra men in the defensive backfield. Now 3rd down for Brock Berlin. First down, the tight end Everett. There is the young man, Kevin Everett, the senior from Port Arthur, Texas, who replaced Kellen Winslow. And what a fine physical specimen Everett is. That good for 15 yards and a big third down play for Berlin, Gary.
I think a great start for Miami, serving notice to Florida State that not only will they run the ball, they also aren't going to forget the tight end. Now Florida State says, oh, come on. We just had to defend Winslow, and now they have to defend number 84, whoever else lines up there. On balance, right.
Now Ryan Moore at the top of your screen. Motion Berlin trips. So it will be second down after the short loss. May have tripped up on Joel Rodriguez's leg as he pulled back out. So it will be second down. Now, we had a chance to ask Brock Berlin what he wants to accomplish early against the Noles defense.
Definitely like to kind of see what the safeties are doing, corners, see what kind of blitzes they want to bring, and just come out and get a feel for what they want to do. Obviously, we'd like to come out and score fast.
One of the wrinkles that they planned on using is Greg Olson, the transfer from Notre Dame, in as a second tight end. They run Gore to that side behind the two tight ends. He slashes back just short of the 40-yard line. Ernie Sims, folks. Remember the name and number of this young man. Number 34 from Tallahassee is going to be a great football player.
Well, so far, Florida State feels good about their corners, that they can cover man-to-man outside. Unfortunately, Dan Werner, the new offensive coordinator for Miami, hasn't thrown out there yet. I look for Florida State now to sink that safety into the box and force Miami to throw the ball wide.
On 3rd and 5, they'll sub for Gore, use the shotgun. Under pressure, fires, and dropped at the first down marker. So Ryan Moore lost the handle, and Miami forced to punt. There was pressure that time from A.J. Nicholson, the junior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
A little surprised by Miami on that one. Right under snap, you could tell Florida State was going to play man-to-man across the board. It was easy pitch and catch, and Miami did not get it done.
Now a question mark, of course, is Brian Monroe, somewhat inconsistent. Takes the high snap, left puts it back. Leon Washington makes the fair catch at the 10-yard line. So now the other side of the quarterback story. Here is Chris Ricks, a young man who has suffered at the hands of the Canes. 0-4. Overall, his numbers pretty impressive last year, except for what happened against Miami. Losing to them twice, and now his last chance as he brings the offense out as a senior. And we will tell you one thing that both Jeff and Bobby Bowden told us today. Everything goes tonight. It's all in. This will not be a conservative game plan like the Orange Bowl. We'll use motion. We'll use double shifts. We'll go short. We'll go long. We're going to throw everything at the Canes. And immediately Ricks changes up at the line. Washington. For about 3 yards as we take a look at the Outback Steakhouse starting lineup now for Florida State. And just like Miami, lots of stories here. Leon Washington is the workhorse. You saw him carry the ball, total yards, averaging almost 100 yards a game for the Noles a year ago. And over there, number 70, the left tackle, Alex Barron. He someday will be playing Sunday afternoon football. And Monday night, we might add. He is one of the best. Second down. 7 yards to go for Ricks and the Noles. That's the fullback way out there. They empty the backfield. They go 5 receivers, and they throw to Thorpe. So Crefonso Thorpe makes his first reception. Roger McIntosh with the tackle. Santonio Thomas would not have been able to play because of an injured back on Monday night. Finally healthy. Question here, of course, if you lose Vilma and Williams, who's going to step up? 2 years ago, McIntosh got a lot of snaps. There's a future number 1. Last year, they had 4 number 1 draft choices on this Miami defense. And Florida State wants to test the youngins. Third down now for Ricks. Inside handoff. Nanton, the junior from Miami, along with Roll coming up from the corner. stop him.
Yeah, big gamble on the blitz that time by Miami, and it paid off. They gambled that Florida State would run the football. Antrell Roll came off the slot. No one was covering the slot. Had they thrown the ball to the slot, it would have been an easy first down and plenty of run after catch.
Here's Chris Hall back to punt. He won the punting job. They're going to come after him. Roscoe Parrish, the wide receiver, tackled immediately at the 36-yard line as he is brought down by Pat Watkins. A free safety on the nose. A good sharp tackle. Scoreless as we take a timeout. 9:44 to go here in the opening quarter down at Miami. Florida State of Miami, and Gore returns. Frank Gore, he was out on that 1 3rd down play when they failed to convert first down. So he's back for his second series. That's Olsen, the H-back look, play fake. Berlin going deep and incomplete. Ryan Moore was unable to separate that time from Bryant McFadden.
Number 85, Ryan Moore.
There's a new play caller for the Miami Hurricanes this year. The offensive coordinator, there he is on the left, Dan Werner. And Gary, he's a veteran coach. He's been around this system, quarterback coach, a couple of years prior to that, and we expect him to do an excellent job.
I look for more stretch plays, more throws deep to the receivers. They got a little nickel dime last year. There's that safety down for Florida State already. Yeah.
And Gore going nowhere. Throwing for a loss that time as they showed end-around motion. And Travis Johnson, the senior defensive tackle from California.
We'll be watching all night Frank Gore. How many times he's coming off those 2 knee injuries, as Brent told you. How many touches will he get in this first game? I'm sure this staff wants to keep the 1-2 punch Gore and Moss all year. We'll watch how much he touches and how much he contributes all night.
3rd down and 13. He's already touched it 4 times for 25 yards. Takes the handoff. Berlin fires complete. And Parrish pulls his way close to a first down. A very nice run after the catch by the junior from Miami, number 1.
Yeah, Parrish might weigh 165 pounds. And if you want to ask a difference of what's happened in the last 0-4 for Florida State, this is the difference. Miami has been able to wrap up and stop and hit. They have been the more physical team in this winning streak for Miami. Florida State, a short pass, gives up a first down on 3rd and very long.
So Parrish picks up the first down for the Canes. Berlin again back in that shotgun. Centerus Moss in as a wide receiver. Quad Hill is also now on the field. They flare back to Parrish. And this time, he picks up about 3 yards on the play before Sam McGrew, the junior middle linebacker from Crawfordsville, Florida, makes the stop.
We've set up the fact that both linebacking units are very young, very new, very inexperienced. But you could see on that play that they didn't come to Florida State just because they had a coach saying they could play football. These guys can run. They're very athletic, and the longer the game goes on, the better they'll get.
Now Darnell Jenkins, one of the wide receivers. So Miami substituting wide receivers liberally. Draw play with Gore. Makes it to the 45-yard line. And this will be 3rd down and about 3 coming up here for Berlin and the Canes.
Tackled by and Nicholson.
Miami continues to be able to run the ball and keep the down markers in their favor. It's not 3rd and long here. 3rd and 3, they can do anything in their offense. The tight end is alive, and so is the tailback alive in 3rd and 3. Safety's up for Florida State right there.
H-back is Olsen. They're going to try to run for it, and it's jammed at the line of scrimmage. No daylight on that side. The Noles read the play perfectly. Willie Jones and Buster Davis came up and made the tackle.
I think that's where Miami would like Brock Berlin to get them out of that play. When Florida State brings up that 8th man like that, I think Brock Berlin has to look to the outside and say, I'm a senior, I'm going to make the throw outside and get a first down. They challenge our receivers one-on-one, we're going to throw the ball.
Monroe punting again here in the opening quarter. And there's the flag, and that is going to be a first down, even if it's a 5-yarder, the way I read it across the way. That'll be enough for a first down as Cameron Wembley, a defensive end, came in and drew the personal foul. So the first break in this game is going Miami's way.
That's a huge mental mistake right here. When you have 4th down, and less than 5 yards, you cannot intentionally or unintentionally rough that punter and give the other team plus territory first down.
Running into the kicker by the defense, that's a 5-yard penalty. The yardage will go for the first down.
Jack Childress of the ACC is our referee here tonight. He's a good one.
Well, you can see he ducked, but he also, Wembley, got blocked on the play. He didn't have a clear run, tried to duck away from it, but when you put yourself in a position like that, bad things can happen. Wembley does not have a lot of experience. It's one of those early mistakes by a young football player.
Monroe is a young man from Palm Beach Gardens. He lost contact with his parents up there when the telephone service was knocked out. A couple days later, his mother, who's a nurse up in that particular area, was able to get a hold of him.
Miami's running the time clock down. Yeah, they're going to have to take a timeout.
And we'll take a timeout. ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Chrysler. Inspiration comes standard. Under Armour Performance Apparel. The advantage is undeniable. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. And AOL for Broadband. Proud sponsor of First and 10. Well, no score. Brock Berlin avoids a 5-yard penalty with that timeout. Frank Gore, the junior from nearby Coral Gables, continues to operate at running back. Now they'll move the H back into the fullback look. Fumble, and I believe the Noles jump on it. Florida State football on the turnover by Gore.
An unforced error that time. Penetration inside. Nicholson got the recovery on the play, but this was just a bobble. Just a messed up play. After a timeout, I think Gore might have gone the wrong way on the play, and that's a hand back. Wow, huge mistake on the play because that was the counter tray coming back to the other side. Gore should have gone on top, over the top of Brock Berlin. He tried to go underneath. That was the mistake.
Ricks and the Noles come back near midfield. Lorenzo Booker in as their tailback. On the toss sweep. Gets the corner. 40. Out of bounds. But inside the 40-yard line. Pushed out by Greg Threet, the safety from Tallahassee. So with Gary Danielson and Jack Arute, I'm Brett Musburger. Scoreless, Florida State and Miami. Florida State attempting to snap that 5-game losing streak at the hands of the Hurricanes. 2 of the losses coming last year, 1 during the regular season, and the 2nd in the FedEx Orange Bowl. And now, after Booker catches the corner, it's a first down inside the 40 for Chris Ricks, who is a senior, is trying to break 0 for 4 against the Canes as the quarterback for Florida State. Booker slammed at the 40 for a loss by Marcus Maxey. Well, Monday night, it's the regular season premiere of Monday Night Football. Brett Favre and the Packers battle Jake Delhomme and the Panthers. Monday Night Football, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on ABC Sports Championship Television. And don't we hope that that game is as good as the one last night. And here are the players from these 2 schools playing on Monday Night Football. Well, we don't know if Chris Winke's going to get in the game, but there they are.
If you collect a check, you're playing. You know the saying.
That's good. 2nd down and 12. We've got a timeout on the field. And I believe it was Miami, the linesman signaling. Now they're down to 1. Well, we asked Florida State quarterback Chris Ricks the importance of this game.
Words cannot describe how much it matters. And people can say, well, if you lose this game, you still have the whole season to bounce back and to work your way back up in the polls. But I really believe that we're due against Miami.
A young man who has been troubled Tallahassee on and off the field, but everybody, to a man, including his teammates, say he is now showing the maturity of a senior leader. First 4-year starting quarterback ever in the Bowden era. Sets the screen pass. Booker trying to come back. Got Ricks on the other side, throwing a beautiful block. And Booker is out of bounds inside the 35. But wait till Gary Danielson shows you the effort by the quarterback on the comeback block.
I'll tell you, that's one thing they talk about Chris Ricks. It isn't because of lack of intensity. He's made mistakes. It's going to be a screen pass to the right side over here. Smelled out very well by Miami. Booker makes a spin move and comes back to the quarterback. You know, really, you have no choice. You got to throw the block. He gets it on the defensive lineman. Thomas right there gets up wincing, but everyone in the huddle remembers that play.
Now 3rd and 3, and Ricks drops back into the shotgun. Under pressure, throws it complete to Chris Davis, the sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida. And he is short of that 25-yard line, but that we'll see where they spot the ball. It is close, and it is a first down, Seminoles.
Jeff Bowden has said that he tweaked the offense about 20% for Florida State. And what he tried to do, he feels he's got running backs that can catch the ball. You see it right on his right side, right there. There's Jeff. In short passes, he felt he went vertical too much against Miami in the past. The short passes is what he wants to do, and so far, he's excellent. Ricks is 3 for 3.
First down and 10 inside the 30-yard line. Booker tripped up in the backfield by Santonio Thomas, who said, yeah, I took a block from the quarterback, but take that. Reminded him all. A big triple header now on ABC. There's your leadoff games around the country. Then the second games of the doubleheader will continue right on into prime time. Gary and I are going to go up to Clemson for the Georgia Tech game. We'll see Penn State, Boston College in the Northeast, Colorado State, USC out west. So big day of college football on ABC. Now Florida State goes trips to the right this time. Ricks needs to get it downfield. Needs 12 yards. First down markers just inside the 16. Incomplete. And now it will be a big 3rd down coming up. And I will tell you who's getting antsy right now over on the sideline is number 47, Savied Beitia, with this 3rd down play. He was able to kick 42-yarders with that wind at his back. He needs to pick up a little more yardage, and here he is warming up on the sideline. The young man who just wanted another chance, and he may get one if they can pick up a little yardage here.
Yeah, but this is like a putt on the 3rd green. I mean, it's really not going to mean anything for sure until you get to that 4th quarter and he has to make it.
Wait till you see the graphic on what happens in this game with who scores first.
Yeah.
3rd down now for Ricks. The pocket holds, and Ricks rolls out of it. Looking downfield. Can't find anybody open. Now under pressure. Will throw it for Washington, who couldn't make the grab in the end zone as Ricks goes for the whole ball of wax that time.
But it was safely a whole ball of wax that time. You will see little pattern over to the right side of the formation. No one open, coming all the way around the field from the backfield. I think Ricks is just throwing this ball away to a safe spot, and all of a sudden, right into the picture comes Leon Washington to almost make a great play.
Here comes the 45-yarder and a brand new long snapper for Florida State. The first time for Hodish in combat. A touch high. Beitia gets under it, and he's made it. Savied Beitia, the senior from Tampa, whose father was an outstanding highlight player, puts the Noles up by 3. How important was that field goal for Florida State? The team scoring first has won the last 13 games. And Gary, you made a big point about the wind at his back.
It really was. That helped him. I mean, he does not make that field goal 45 yards going into the wind. In fact, I think even Bobby Bowden might have punted the ball from the same yard line going the other direction.
In that end zone are the students from Miami.
Yeah.
And in the pregame warm-up, every time there was a kick attempted by any Florida State kicker, they would chant either wide right or wide left, wide right or wide left. And, of course, that has helped define this rivalry through the years. And Florida State has missed so many critical kicks in the fourth quarter, but they jump ahead now by a field goal for head coach Bobby Bowden.
Well, that was dead middle. There was no right or left on that one. That was dead middle. And I guess, you got to feel good about that if you're a kicker to miss a key kick in a game like that. There's no doubt. I think Miami, I just wonder if that was just a misplay going against the wind, because it has affected the football game and the kicking game so much already in this first quarter.
Look at that little swagger as he walks back there.
Is that a highlight swagger right there?
Got a little bounce to the step.
I've never seen that. Is that a...
Let me tell you something. He knows something about a Quinell. And with the wind in his back, he drills another one out of the end zone. He'll come out of the 20. Gary, let's take a look at our Chrysler passing playbook.
Well, Chris Riggs has been so good at this in the past, getting out of the pocket and making plays. The problem is, he's made a lot of bad plays. This time they throw the short pass, and he motions to his team and tells his team that I'm going to be a leader, I'm going to be a physical football player, and I'm going to be a smart football player. And that's what they're looking for from this senior as they start trying to make this run. And Brent, they were very clear with us. Their goal, national championship. They did not mention the word ACC.
Yes, exactly. Both teams with bigger goals. And Moss now in as the running back. Tyrone Moss, sophomore from just up the road in Pompano Beach, Florida. High formation. Moss into the middle of that Knoll defense.
Number 30, Tyrone Moss.
And you can see defensively out there how aggressive the defensive linemen are for both of these teams. Even when San Antonio was taken down by that Ricks block, he gave him a little emphasis on the back of the shoulders back there that time. There are so many pro scouts who like to look at this game because they can measure strength against strength. I mean, as Gary said, it is for men only, and it has been over the last few decades down in the pit area for both of these teams. Just wonderful, wonderful football players. Berlin couldn't find anybody open, and it'll be third down and long. And of course, this area impacted so much by Hurricane Francis. And we asked Brock Berlin about the players and the coaches' families, and here's what he had to say.
50% of our team is from South Florida, and so you want their families to be okay. They want to check on the families, go see them, and so it was good. It was good. Coach gave us a few days off. A lot of guys were able to go see their families and be there with them.
And we certainly hope that everybody in Florida is safe and sound, and let's hope for the best next week.
Florida State's kept 3 linebackers on the field.
Berlin under pressure, runs away from it, but he's not going to run for a first down, and Miami is forced to punt again by this Florida State defense. And Parrish just got into it with Brian McFadden, and a penalty flag has been thrown by the field judge down around the near side 30-yard line.
Yeah, but it's going to be on Parrish, too. I'll tell you, on that scramble that time, Brock Berlin, if he'd have kept his head up like he's taught to do, he had Ryan Moore wide open in for a first down.
The personal foul against Miami, and that's another big mistake. They had a fumble, which led to the field goal, and now a personal foul penalty.
We have a dead ball foul, a personal foul, number 1 of the offense. The ball is moved half the distance to the goal. It's 4th down.
Now you're going to see one of the exciting players for Florida State. That young man is Willie Reed, and they are hoping that they can get him into the attack someplace. He has such a great future, but they haven't been able to decide if he's a running back or a wide receiver. They list him as a wideout, but they want to see if he can give him field position. This is a short punt. Reed says stay away from it. They'll take it near midfield.
Reed was back so far for that punt into the wind that time. And again, look where Florida State, as Brent just said, their own 45-yard line, 44-yard line to start this drive.
So a 44-yard punt rolls dead at the Noles 45-yard line, and they're 55 yards away. Still 2 minutes remaining with the wind at their back here in the opening quarter. And we should mention that John Frady has been playing center tonight. Fake toss, and they bring Chris Davis, the wideout, around, but Baraka Atkins, the defensive end from Sarasota, read the play perfectly.
Boy, great discipline. You have to be a great athlete to play at Miami. Everyone knows that. But this discipline on a pitch the opposite way to get as deep as the deepest guy, that's why he made this play. You look out here to the outside. Watch him get deep on a pitch one way, coming back the other way, and he just makes that play to the outside. That is the type of discipline fit with great athleticism that can be a great defensive football player.
2nd and 14 for Ricks. And again, Jeff Bowden upstairs has confidence in the offensive line. Ricks alone in the backfield. They spread it out, deflected incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down. You know, the last 5 games have all been won by the Hurricanes. And there you see the average score. And note that the Canes have been able to put 400 yards on some pretty good defensive talent per game. But of course, through the years, several of these Miami players, as Gary has detailed, have moved on to the NFL, and that Miami offense has not been able to move the ball much here tonight. They have 56 yards and Florida State only 32. So both defenses are dominating here with 1:11 to go in the opening quarter. Ricks forced to run out of the pocket. Dangerous cross field. Up high, incomplete. Coaches have been trying to talk him out of it. A late penalty flag comes flying at the 40-yard line.
There's 2 of them out there, one on the offensive line and one in the secondary. Could be offsetting.
Coker not happy with one of them.
I thought that ball was uncatchable, to tell you the truth, in the secondary.
We have an ineligible receiver downfield, number 64 of the offense. We have pass interference, number 31 of the defense, offsetting foul. Repeat the down.
So Glenn Sharp gets away with interference because of the ineligible receiver downfield. And those of you, I'm sure, have been watching games and listening to all the announcers who pointed out that this year that they will give the number of the player who's guilty of the infraction, which I think is a good change. And then we're not left guessing up here, and nor are you at home. 3rd down and 14. And they came late from the left-hand side. Kelly Jennings coming on the blitz from that side, hesitated a step, so Ricks did not see him when he started.
Randy Shannon, look at intro roll from this side over here. He bluffs, and then they come from the wide side. Great setup by defensive coordinator Randy Shannon. One side they bluff, they come from the other side, and Jennings gets the sack. Well-designed play by Miami.
Let's see if the Canes go after Chris Hall here. Booms it. Parrish driven back to the 11-yard line. And he'll be down at the 15-yard line. So the Canes now can run out the seconds here. There's only 15 left in the opening quarter, and then they can continue this series with the wind at their back. And the wind did play a role so far in this game, as Florida State was able to kick a long field goal by Saviat Betia. And that represents the only scoring so far.
Yes, Brent, Miami got 1 possession on the turnover. They started in good field position, but 3 of them started, 2 on the 20 and now 1 on the 15 because of the wind.
I'm sure the coaches are aware. And And they just run a simple dive play to work on the clock with Tyrone Moss. And the final seconds tick away on our opening quarter. A turnover, the big play. Gore coughed it up. Recovered by Florida State. And then Beitia nails the 45-yard field goal. Split the uprights. It's 3-0.
ABC Sports welcomes you back to this week's BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT.
It's always wonderful college football entertainment when Miami and Florida State get together, whether it's here in the Orange Bowl or the FedEx Orange Bowl or up in Tallahassee. But now Gary Brock Berlin gets to operate with the wind at his back.
Yes, Miami needs to open it up a bit. They've shown they can run the ball when Florida State doesn't think they're going to run it. But these quarterbacks have to be sharper. Offenses can't play safe and move the ball against these great defenses.
Continuing that H-back look, and now they run behind it with Tyrone Moss getting the call. Well, you know, the first thing we notice about Frank Gore is that he appears to be running very, very well for Miami. And what do you make about the quarterback matchup so far?
So far, I've been a little disappointed in both of them. A few throws by Chris Ricks that I think were uncalled for. Bobby Bowden said, I don't care if you make a couple mistakes, Chris, but don't make the silly mistake. And a couple of those throws across the formations were bad. Brock Berlin has not checked off enough and has not really attacked this defense yet.
This is a big third down for Berlin and the Canes. Shotgun, they come after him, steps up, throws, incomplete. And Brian McFadden, the senior corner from Hollywood, right up the road, who knew he was going to be a target in this game, stood tall on that play.
The Florida State corners believe they can cover. More importantly, Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator, believes he has corners that can cover. So Miami, if you're going to throw the ball, you better throw it on time and you better be accurate, because if you throw it badly, it's going to get knocked down or intercepted.
Now Leon, back to return, high snap.
Oh, great.
Monroe does a great job of getting this punt off. And Monroe apparently didn't touch it. If I was Miami, I'd make the officials make a decision. They touch it, obviously, the way he jumped away from it, but it was close down there, wasn't it? But it's dead on the 25-yard line, 3-0. Florida State leads it. Being 6'2" helps Brian Monroe tremendously as he reaches up and then, in poised fashion, nails a good punt. And the Noles will start from the 25-yard line.
Greg Olson, the tight end, the backup tight end, was the center on that play. He looked back right away. He knew it was a high one.
Booker, the Noles tailback. Ricks changes it at the line. Toss play to Booker, trying to get a corner. He got one earlier in the game, but not this time. Down back by the 20-yard line by 3 and roll.
Miami was playing their safeties 13 yards off the line of scrimmage, both of them. There's Roll in the line of scrimmage because Florida State is using a bunch formation, but watch Roll. He takes on the fullback, doesn't get knocked down, bounces it outside, and here comes the safety. Threet is right there.
Chauncey Stovall comes to the right side of the formation. He's matched up against Roll. The Noles cluster 3 just outside the left tackle. Ricks is in deep trouble, steps away from it. Did a dandy job of avoiding a loss that time, and he's down at the 26-yard line, and there's Antrell Roll again. And now it's time for this week's Aflac Trivia question, courtesy of my colleague Gary. He pointed out that there are 26 first-round Miami draft picks currently in the NFL, 26 first-rounders, but the highest salary Kane was not drafted in the first round. Who is he? We'll put Brian Mobilson and George Hill to work on that one. They were around the NFL. One keeping stats for Alan John, and the other, I'm sure, watching out in San Francisco. Third down now. I formation for Ricks. Three-step drop, juggled by Thorpe as he goes down and pulls it in. Yeah. And great concentration, Gary, on the way down.
Tremendous concentration, but not a good pass. If that pass would have been on the front shoulder, that could have been a first down. Now it's going to be 3rd and a yard short because it was thrown behind the receiver, and Thorpe had to make a great play. You know, when you're playing a great defense, and when you play Miami, you're playing a great defense, or you play Florida State, you're playing a great defense. You must execute the little things, and that's an example right there.
Now it's Chris Hall. Back to punt. Parrish is the return man.
Beautiful.
And Parrish going to let this one go. Took a dangerous bounce. Sometimes when you turn your back and you're a return man like that, it can slip up and get you. But it's down. Beautiful punt, like Gary pointed out, a 46-yarder. So it's the Canes and the Noles, and it's very low scoring. The ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by Pontiac. Vote for this week's Pontiac game-changing performance at ESPN.com/Pontiac. Gap, how do you wear it? Aflac, ask about it at work. And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of First and 10. And First and 10 is hard to come by so far in this game. Both these teams have had trouble moving the football. It's 3-0. You can see Florida State, 16 snaps, only 36 yards. Miami, 20 snaps and only 55. So neither offense able to generate much. There's been a sack apiece in this game. Of course, the one turnover by Miami led to the Florida State field goal, and that has been the story of this game so far. There is a breeze. Berlin has it as his back, and Hill is now in as the running back. Quad Hill. Fake to him. Berlin goes outside on a little flanker screen to Centeris Moss. And now, Gary, take a look at the Pontiac high-performance drive summary for us.
This, I think, is the start. And this is the 4 previous starting positions for the Miami offense. The one time on their own 37-yard line, that was following the punt play that they got the ball and they fumbled on the next play, as you can see. But you can see they start on their own end. It's very difficult in this league to drive the ball, or in the NFL for that matter, to drive the ball 75, 80 yards unless you're playing New England or Indianapolis Colts. And they drive on everything.
Frank Gore gets it on 2nd and 7, but there was a penalty flag thrown by the linesman on the far side. So the top of the hour, and if you just joined us, you haven't missed much unless you love defensive football. It's been hard hitting here between Florida State and Miami, and a fumble which led to a field goal by the Seminoles. And our Pacific Life game summary shows the tale of 2 quarterbacks under constant pressure, Gary.
They sure have. They've not been able to move them outside the pocket, and both teams have been able to zero in on the quarterback and force them to throw it quick, to scramble and not effectively, and neither quarterback has been sharp and accurate yet so far in this football game.
Now the 5-yard penalty against Florida State for being offside moves that ball out near the 25-yard line, and so this could help Miami generate a first down on this drive, as here comes Gore searching for daylight. Tried to dive close to it and was working against Pat Watkins, the free safety from Tallahassee.
Miami started off this football game running pretty well, but nothing now in the run game.
Let's check in down below with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Brent, we know how much Frank Gore has wanted to play in these games. He rehabilitated from 2 torn ACLs to be back in competition. But what we didn't know is who his motivation was. During off-season conditioning, Frank Gore was in every day lifting extra time. And you know who spotted for him? His quarterback, Brock Berlin.
Yeah, Brock and Frank have stayed close here in Miami, Jack. In fact, Brock is very friendly with a lot of his teammates, popular with them. And Gore able to battle for the first down at the 30-yard line. So work in the weight room pays off as Ernie Sims makes the stop. Well, we ask you the Aflac trivia question. 26 first-round Miami draft picks, currently in NFL. But the highest paid Cane was not drafted in the first round. Who is he? Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Clinton Portis, a very rich Clinton Portis. With the Washington Redskins signed an 8-year, $50.5 million contract. So I think Portis is, well, heck, he can contribute a couple of scholarships down here to Miami. Let's get him. First down. He's a fine, fine football player and a nice young man. Back goes Berlin. Beautiful pass. Got his tight end Everett across midfield, and that is as good a ball as Berlin has thrown all night.
And it was
Kevin Everett for 23 yards carry.
And it was thrown on timing, a quick play-action pass. Everett is going to come across right here. A little timing in the backfield with the play-action pass. He does get Berlin great pressure on the backside this time. He gets hit, but look at Everett against the young linebackers. I think that's where Miami has to attack. They must attack. Talented, I'll agree, but inexperienced linebackers for Florida State, and that's the way to do it with the tight end.
Berlin has Jenkins flanked to his right. Brings him down in motion, just inside the hash mark. Throws the screen to Gore, who could not get a tackle. Battles his way back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down at about 10 yards, and Piquillon, the linebacker, right down here in Miami. So many of these football players were recruited by both of these schools, not to mention the Florida Gators up in Gainesville. So many of them played as teammates and against each other in high school. And this time of year, of course, it's wall-to-wall football down in the state of Florida. And, of course, on Friday night, even Larry Coker alluded to it. He hated to interrupt the high school schedule, but this was an open date. Television was available, so they moved after the game was postponed to play on a Friday. But ordinarily, coaches from both these staffs are out scouting and recruiting the high school football talent in this state, and there's an abundance of it. As Berlin flicks it to Darnell Jenkins. It'll now be third down. Leroy Smith, the defender. He's the senior from Quincy, Florida.
See, that's all you really have to do if you're a corner in that type of a pass. You just have to make sure you don't whiff on the tackle, because you've got speed from the linebacker coming out to help you, whether it's Davis, the middle linebacker, or the safeties. If you just don't whiff out there, you'll get help real quick. The Florida State corners are squatting. Miami needs to go deep on them. Even an incomplete pass will open up this game a bit.
Brock Berlin facing that third down, trying to run for it. Fumble picked up on the run by Florida State. This is going to be a touchdown. They will not stop him. Cromartie, the sophomore from Tallahassee, picks up the fumble by Roscoe Parrish and goes the distance for the first touchdown, 59 yards.
A direct snap to Roscoe Parrish, a bit of a gimmick play. Pretty effective, got 7, 8, or 9 plays, but it's ripped loose that time. Pops into the air, picked up, and gone all the way. Turnovers by Miami.
Kyler Hall is the young man who stripped the ball away from Parrish on that play. Now Beitia on for the extra point, and in dramatic fashion. Coming out of nowhere, suddenly Bobby Bowden's Seminoles score the first touchdown of this game, and Larry Coker's Canes are down by 10. Coker, as a coach, has never lost as a head coach to Florida State. And trying to get the correct ball in now for Florida State. Now we are set. And it's 10-0 as Beitia adds the extra point. Now, watch the ball stripped out by Hall, and watch Cromartie like a shortstop on the big hop. Nobody catching it as he got a big block to clear the way. It was Kyler Hall, the senior from Live Oak, Florida, strong safety, who yanked the ball out of Parrish's hands, and now they have changed the official touchdown run for Cromartie to 61 yards, so they give him a couple more yards on that return. But it took a lot of air out of the Orange Bowl with that play.
Yeah, it's one of, Kyler Hall plays a lot, has started over 3 years in his career at Florida State. Another of the depth. You said 4 and more when we looked at those lineups. It's another one of the fresh bodies that Mickey Andrews puts out there.
Now Miami with 7:18 to go for that before the half with Hester, the return man. And Hester slammed down around the 20-yard line. Let's check in again with Jackaroo. Jack?
Well, Brett, no question. It's been turnovers that have been the difference for the Miami Hurricanes, and that's been somewhat good news for Brock Berlin. We've been in this place before and heard the fans booing Brock for underperforming. He said last season, though, he matured due to that booing. He said, I became a stronger person, realized that I could not win games just by myself. It helps, too, that he has a brand new offensive coordinator as well. Don Werner says he's going to play to Berlin's best assets.
Well, of course, Berlin had been blamed, Jack, for all of the interceptions, and in this case, we've had 2 Miami fumbles. But it does create a hole for Brock Berlin to dig out of now, and timeout is called. And Miami self-inflicting some wounds here in the first half of this game, and we'll take a break. Welcome back to the BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT, with Florida State leading Miami 10-0. And in the coaches ESPN poll, Florida State is ranked 6th and Miami 5th. But if you go to the media poll, the AP fellas, it's just flip-flopped right now. Where have we heard that word before? First down and 10. Here is Gore, daylight right side. Frank Gore. Out of bounds as he approaches midfield. Osei, the senior safety, in pursuit. This is a 21-yard run.
You'll see the tight end go across, and then all of a sudden the big guy pulls and goes the opposite way on this play. Counteraction behind Eric Winston. 300 pounds, going to be a #1 draft pick. Started his career at Miami here as a tight end. Now he's a load as an offensive tackle. One of the most talented offensive tackles that Miami has ever produced. And that's a mouthful.
Look at him. His stepdaddy wanted him to go so badly to Texas A&M he wouldn't even speak to him for a while. He bleeds Aggie. Berlin goes deep and he's going to overthrow everybody. He just launched one and hoped that Parrish would be able to break free, but
Roscoe cut his route out. He stopped, he cut it off and ran to the middle of the field. If the corner could get that close to the ball, you would expect your receiver to get that close to the ball. Brock Berlin was throwing it to a point and the receiver broke off the route.
Ah, my friend Gary.
Run your route. Throw to somebody else.
Every now and then, a little of that former quarterback will come out. Second down and 10. But he was right, folks. Second down and 10. Parrish did seem to break it up. Here's Gore, and he's hit almost immediately as he approaches the line of scrimmage. And the Knoll defense, that time led by Bunkley, the nose man. And Miami coaches said that they thought Bunkley was underrated last year. They thought he was a pretty good football player, so they knew he'd be a force to block with their offensive line.
He played a lot for Jeff Roble last year, came into the game, and they noticed him when he came into the game. Of course, Darnell Dockett is not there any longer, but, you know, I think the injuries to both offensive lines and the moving around of guys, and it being the first game, they're not ready for these type of athletes on defense.
There's a third down now for Brock Berlin. Miami 3 of 8 on third downs here. Direct snap and a pump fake. He steps up, goes sideline, got his first down. That was a nice strong throw to the far sideline as he whipped it to Kevin Everett. But there is a penalty flag thrown. In fact, there are a couple of them down on the 35-yard line.
Miami walking back dejectedly.
Well, this would be another big penalty against Miami here. Remember, they had that dead ball personal foul earlier, which hurt him as far as field position was concerned. That was against Parrish.
This was just a 3-man rush against 5 offensive linemen, and they held. That's when you expect...
Holding number 70 of the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Repeat third down.
Well, that would be Rodriguez against that nose man again.
Absolutely, right in the middle. Got his hands. Look, he's got, oh yeah, that's easy call right there. 3-man rush, that's inexcusable for that Miami offensive line.
Third down, a whole bunch here. Berlin has to go across midfield.
Yeah, he has to be careful.
48-yard line, and exactly. They'll give him 4 wide. Steps away from the pressure, but he's across the scrimmage line. And a nice gain, but needed a lot more for a first down. So Miami will punt it away, and they've been unable to take advantage of the wind here in the second quarter.
Buster Davis, that time, number 7, the middle linebacker, was the guy that snuck in there and forced Brock Berlin to go up the middle. The Florida State pass rush and the Miami pass rush has just been too much for these offensive lines.
Oh, those turnovers. Gary is Monroe punts it away. And here is Reed down immediately at the 17-yard line.
Boy, I sure would like to see this one again, because I think Florida State had 12 men on the field this time.
41 yards.
Well, we'll get to that in a moment, but starting Monday, the benefactor will hand over $1 million. He's just looking for the player who has what it takes to step up and take it, who will pass his test for success. The benefactor premieres Monday only on ABC. That'd be
all right, man, you can see it. Here's a guy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We really don't have enough look at it. But the Florida State bench was frantically trying to call timeout. I think they had too many guys out there.
Ricks takes over with the Florida State offense. Play fake. Far sideline, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 43. There's that Ricks mistake. But there is a flag, so hold on. A flag back by the 10-yard line. Kelly Jennings, the junior, makes the interception. But let's let the officials sort this one out. The interception stands.
Penalty is refused. First down.
A first down play. The quarterback cannot throw the ball like this. Watch Chris Ricks throw this falling away. Throwing it off his back foot, just launches the ball 30 to 40 feet in the air and just tries to guess a completion. It's first down, Chris. You're a fifth-year senior. Throw the ball away. That is a gift for Miami and could get them back in the game.
The first Florida State turnover and the 2 Miami turnovers have resulted in the 10 points that have been scored in this game. So Florida State's offense has generated only 36 yards, yet they lead it by 10. And now Brock Berlin will start from the 43-yard line. Here's Gore battling inside the 40-yard line.
They're not resting Gore. I mean, they're playing him. It's not like they're saying, all right, half the time Moss, half the time Gore, a little bit of Hill. You're getting Gore in this football game. He's the featured back, and he's carrying the ball a lot or touching the ball a lot.
11 carries for 57 yards for Gore so far here in the first half. He has outgained the entire Florida State offense, as Florida State has been able to run for only 9 yards here in the first half. The Florida State defensive front, led by Eric Moore, the big defensive end from just up the road. Mahokey makes the stop. He's a fine football player there.
Yeah, the only really true returning starter is Eric Moore on that defense. He's the anchor, but there's plenty of talent. Florida State will bring in 4 other guys and roll them right through. All of you that have watched Florida State football know that that's what they do no matter what they have. And now they have talent behind their first 4 guys.
Centerus Moss, one of the wideouts. Berlin on third down again. Needs 8 to keep this drive going after the interception. And again in trouble. Incomplete. Near the 30-yard line as the protective pocket broke down that time around Berlin.
I'll tell you what third down is in this football game. Third down is no man's zone because neither offensive line can stop the other's defensive line. You know, you talked about both teams having scrimmages before this game. 2 versus 1 about both of them. Both were dominated by the defensive lines, and everybody said, well, that's 1 versus 2. This game, it's 1 versus 1, and they're dominated.
Washington back in as the return man. He will let this one go for the end zone, and it's going to be downed inside the 5-yard line. So Monroe doing an outstanding job of punting here tonight. Antrell Roll, the All-American cornerback, is able to get down and down that one inside the 5-yard line. When you think about MVPs from Miami in the first half, if you're going for the Chevrolet player, it'd be Monroe, the punter, and that doesn't say much for the Miami offense in this game.
This is the time Miami wishes they had their timeouts. They cannot stop the clock. There's 3 minutes and 20 to go. Backed up, Miami would love to get a stop, call timeouts, and you can see they have none.
Backed up against the student section, and that closed in. It'll be hard to hear Ricks hand off in the end zone, and Washington to the 5-yard line, picks up about a yard. McIntosh with the stop for the Canes, and the clock continuing to run.
Chris Ricks now will bleed this clock. If Florida State, they'd love to have a first down and get out of it being backed up, but they want to take as much clock as they can off.
Running the play clock down toward 10 seconds and then inside it. Again, that long handoff, and nothing much doing. Antrell Roll from Homestead, Florida, just down the road. There's a young man who, with Hurricane Andrew hit, he hid inside a closet down there to protect himself, as Homestead was nearly leveled by one a few years back, and so he knows the danger of trying to live out hurricanes.
With 2 minutes to go, roughly 2:20 to go when his ball will be snapped. Jeff Bowden has a tough call here because he put it in the air and throw and try to pick up a first down, and does he run it and continue to bleed the clock?
They continue to bleed the clock, short of the first down. The punt unit will come on the field here with 1:50 to go. Nanton and Williams, Leon Williams.
I think that's a good call by Jeff Bowden and Florida State here. Miami has not proved they can move the ball against them. Their defense has been hot. No use giving a turnover or giving him any more clock here. Punt it to him and see if your defense can get another stop.
Miami needs to be careful against the punter here, too, because another roughing would result in a first down. Gets it off Parrish. Ball's being held up by the wind a little bit. Got it at the 49-yard line, crosses midfield. And he's down at the 43-yard line. So, John Saunders, what do you got for us at halftime, my friend?
Brent, we know it's only the second week of September right now, but we're going to tell you who's playing in the Orange Bowl this year.
Well, even crazier than that, we're going to talk about the Heisman candidates out there, and really crazy is his choice.
Got a laid-back Southern Cal quarterback, Matt Leiner's got big plans this year.
All right, it's all coming up on the Valvoline Halftime Show. Brent, back to you.
Craig, I'll book all year at. Well, I can't do that. Whoever you picked, okay?
I think when you have 3 Hurricanes to your home state, you can do whatever you want.
And here come the Hurricanes onto the field, and Larry Coker badly would like to get on the scoreboard.
Only 7 seconds. Look how late they come on the field again.
Down to 3 seconds on that clock. Fake from Berlin. And
they
Florida State simply ate that play up. McFadden, the senior corner, just came up. And, in watching Coker here on our shots from the sideline, he looks a little more stressed than I can remember him. Just his body language and the hat askew, and he's not calm. He's not happy with how things are going in this game. You can read that on the sideline. Second down, Berlin, middle, deflected, incomplete, a dangerous throw, and Buster Davis from Daytona Beach had a shot at it.
One of the things that's come into modern football is on that zone coverage now where the safeties stay wide, they almost play 4 across the field. The modern middle linebackers like Derek Brooks did with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are getting much deeper in the zones. When you throw the ball over the middle now, you have to face athletes like Buster Davis dropping back 15 to 20 yards. Back when I played, they got back 12 yards, and you could throw that ball a little easier.
3rd down and nothing doing for Miami. They've had excellent field position over the last 5 minutes of this half. Berlin fires, the middle is open, and that one's going to be short of the 1st down. Moss is the receiver, centerless Moss, but he's short of the 1st down. Now, no timeouts.
You got to kick the field goal.
They can't do anything.
You got to kick the field goal.
They can't stop it. They've got to hurry and attempt the field goal with Petty. Oh, mercy. Not having a timeout is killing them, but they may get it off, but they don't have enough men on. 74 is trying to call an illegal timeout.
And it was good, too.
No good. No good. That was waved off. No good.
Eric Winston made a bonehead play there.
Winston is out attempting to call a timeout when they're out of him. He's frantically signaling as he runs out. He was just standing there.
That'll be the end of the half.
Well, sure, decline the
got to be the end of the half.
And we'll go to John Saunders.
You got to take it because he made the field goal.
No, he didn't make it.
Oh, he missed it?
Yeah, he was no good.
I thought he made it. Yes, I thought he made that field. Yeah, I think he did, Brent.
Did he make it?
Yes.
Well, maybe it was the officials underneath waving it off.
Well, because
of the penalty.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
But he made it. If they wouldn't have come out there, that was 3 points for Miami.
I was looking at the officials. Petty, who has a very strong leg with a 53-yarder, both of them broke in out of the uprights, signaling no score. But they might have been.
There was an inadvertent whistle during the down. The offense was calling for a timeout for which they did not have. The whistle was blown. The time ran out during the play. We will have one untimed down. There was an inadvertent whistle at the end of the 1st half. One untimed down.
Well, that's a huge
advantage for Miami.
Now, wait a second here. Miami had 12 men on the field when they tried to do that inadvertent whistle.
We're not sure about that. He might have been the 11th man.
Oh, you're right. That is true.
He might have been the 11th
That is true.
Man.
Well, now they get an extra play on this and basically
and from
a
the same
timeout.
spot. So they get a timeout, and now Bobby said, now wait a minute. How can you do that? You've got to back him up here. Mickey, look at Mickey now. Folks,
exactly.
I just love Mickey Andrews' face. Is he a football coach? I mean, look at him on the right side. And I mean, he's just...
And the key is inadvertent whistle, that the officials changed the play.
Look at Mickey. They're going to have to keep the big fella back.
Remember, he's got to make another 53-yarder again, though.
Well, the wind is at the back, Gary, and it's a breeze of 13-14, and
Mickey's going to try to freeze him now.
Florida State, that's their first time out of the half.
Now, here would be my observation about this, and I don't have a rule book. Let me say this right now. I think that Winston calling an illegal timeout before the whistle should result in a penalty. Now, maybe I'm thinking about Chris Webber, but I'm thinking that when you're out there standing like he was, let's watch it and let's listen. Now, let's just listen. I had a hard time hearing the inadvertent whistle, but...
You are right, though, Brent. There were only 10 men on the field. Winston was the 11th man. He was in motion, and there were too many men in the backfield also on top of that. So
I can't believe
the officials blew it.
Penalty here.
I know.
And have to kick a longer field goal. This is where I think the officials might have erred. But I'll tell you what, we got Jack Arute. It's a veteran crew. We'll find out. We'll tell you when we get back in the second half.
I can tell you the officials are pulling for him to miss it. I can tell you that right now.
It's a 52-yarder freebie, if you will, for Miami. So forget the controversy.
No harm, no foul.
Move on. Let's go turn the page. And all's well that ends well.
However, if Winston wouldn't have ran out there, they would have had 3 points.
Let's go to Jack Arute.
Well, Coach, turnovers and a crazy turn of events there.
Well, I'll tell you, our efficiency's been awful. We wasted our timeouts. We could have used our timeouts in the other half, and obviously the turnovers. Defensively we're playing pretty well, and our kicking game hasn't been bad, but the turnovers are killing us.
Is this first game jitters, do you think?
I don't think it's first game jitters. I just think we're making some mistakes, and we're just not being as efficient as we have been in practice. I think we just got to make sure and get it squared away for the second half. We're still okay. We're still in the ball game. We got to play. We got to get it going.
Good luck, Coach.
All right, Jack. Thank you. So we are at half. It's Miami and Florida State, and because of two costly turnovers, the Noles lead it 10-0. Let's go to John Saunders.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Some play it's hot and some sweat when the heat is on. Some feel the heat and decide that they can't go on. Some like it hot. Some like it hot.
But perhaps both offenses have been in the twilight zone, if you will. Because if you want to see a out-of-whack stat, take a look at Florida State. Only 2 first downs, and they lead it 10-0. And Gary Danielson, there's a simple reason as to why.
Yeah, neither offensive line can handle each other's defensive line, but it has been the turnovers that did it. One unforced error by Frank Gore. Nicholson gets it. And then on a bit of a trick play, Roscoe Parrish gets it stripped by Kyler Hall, and Cromartie picks it up. And there's 10 points, almost a gift for Florida State.
You know, Gary, you made a very, very solid point about this game that we haven't talked about, and that's how businesslike both of these teams have gone about this game here tonight.
You know, I have to really salute both teams. And, there's a lot going on in this football game. The hurricanes in Florida, just all the trouble that's happened in this state, the Bowden tragedy. I think both teams should be commended for business. It's not been showboating. It's been good, solid football.
So Florida State will take a 10-0 lead into the second half against Brock Berlin. And the Hurricanes here, we talk about Florida State's offense not doing much. Miami pretty balanced with 68 rush yards and 66 pass yards, but only 7 first downs. Brock and the Canes were 3 of 11 on third down. And to start the second half, Miami will kick it off with the wind at their back. Mark Gent, the kickoff man for Miami. And this one, returnable from the 7-yard line. Leon Washington, the workhorse, out to the 28-yard line. And Jack Root was inside the Florida State locker room. And Jack, what was the mood like there?
Well, Brennan, was just more businesslike, like we've seen the entire game. Bobby Bowden addressed the team, and he said, guys, we're ahead by 10 points. I want to take you back 3 years ago right here. We were ahead by 13 points going into the half, and we lost the game. I challenge you to 30 more minutes of football. He said, defense, I want you to tackle. And he said, quarterback, make sure the next time you throw one, you know where it's going.
That's for Ricks with that deep handoff to Washington to the 34-yard line. And we'll see the Pacific Life game summary, first half stats, Gary.
Nothing really happened. The 2 turnovers, of course. Miami had the ball 18 minutes there, but both teams had not been able to do anything on third down. That, to me, is the big thing right there. Both defenses with sacks, pass rushes, and some poor decisions and throws by the quarterbacks have dominated third down in this game.
So Florida State into the breeze. They will have the wind at their sails in the fourth quarter. Second down. And coming back now with James Coleman, the fullback, his first carry from scrimmage. And this will make it third down for Florida State. Still searching for its first down since the opening quarter. Both of their first downs came back in the first 15 minutes.
You know what I'd like to see Florida State do is move Chris Ricks out of the pocket as well as he runs. Give him a little bit of a pass run, a moving pocket, and let him make a first down with his legs.
Antrell Roll is now the nickelback. Booker is in as the tailback. Off a play fake. Here's Roll blitzing from that nickelback spot, and he was all over Ricks. So the strategy to move Roll from off the corner to nickelback results in this injury to Ricks, who went down hard, and that could lead us to their backup quarterback, very inexperienced sophomore from Tallahassee, Wyatt Sexton. And Ricks still down. Of course, it's 4th down right now, so he doesn't have to automatically miss a play as Florida State is going to be punting.
Florida State tried to run a screen play with the blitz. It's really hard to do it. You can see it right in the ribs. Caught it right in the ribs from Santonio Thomas right there. I'll bet he's grimacing. That's going to be tough to come back from. That's going to be tough to come back from. You catch one in the ribs, especially if you have to throw.
Ricks is down, and Wyatt Sexton begins to loosen up on the far side. Ricks walked off, received attention from the medical staff on that side, was wearing a flak jacket.
Look at, here's the receivers all bunched for Florida State, and here's Antrell Roll. Chris Ricks does not read it because there's too much traffic happening over there. He's unblocked as he comes, gets hung up in the air, and then Thomas cleans him up, and that's where he lost the wind or got bruised ribs on the play.
He walked off under his own power, and you could tell that he had told him he wanted to go back in the game, but we shall see how physically able he is. Now Parrish set to return this punt from the 23-yard line for Miami. And he's down to 32. Jack Arute, what's going on down the sideline with Ricks?
Well, Brent, he had the wind knocked out of him, not as much of his ribs as you thought, Gary, but he said that he had to catch his breath. He is going back in. The training staff has cleared him to play. Maybe one of the things that has helped him is the fact that he wears one of those special type of quarterback shoulder pad systems right there that protects the lower part of the body where the ribs are often exposed.
That's a good point, Jack, and that's an innovation that's come in about the last 5-6 years. The new protection for the quarterbacks used to be much more bulky for the quarterbacks. This is easier to throw with these pads.
Moss is the tailback. That's the call on first down, and again, nothing doing against this front. Both offensive lines are having a ton of trouble with the two defensive fronts in this game. We have a defensive battle unfolding here with Florida State attempting to snap a 5-game losing streak at the hands of Miami, leading it by 10 points as a result of 2 first-half turnovers by the Hurricanes. Both were fumbles. It has not been an offensive show. Both defenses far ahead of the offenses so far in this game. Florida State sits in the base 4-3. Out of bounds on the near side at the 36-yard line. Darnell Jenkins, the sophomore from Miami.
Just wonder, as Dan Warner, the new offensive coordinator for Miami, sits in there and says, that running game that looked so good early, are we going to be able to get it restarted again as Leroy Smith, limps off right there? Or are they going to have to go to the shotgun and try to throw in a comfortable offense for Brock quickly before that rush gets there?
Struggling on third down. Got this one. First down near midfield. Berlin to Ryan Moore, the 6'3" wide receiver for 13 yards.
This was so well timed. This ball was on the way, on the outside right there, going down just past the first down marker. Ball's on the way, thrown to the outside shoulder. Perfect pitch and catch. As quick as that was thrown, he was hit on the play, Brock Berlin.
Now here's Ryan Moore, all-around athlete. And, of course, recruited by the schools in Florida as well as Tennessee and South Carolina. Fine high school basketball player. First and 10. Play fake. Berlin buys time. Got Parrish open. Can he hit him? No. He had Parrish in between corner and safety, and they couldn't hook up.
Again, that was a little bit of a miscommunication. The Parrish was running a bit of a flag route in to out, and it looked like Brock Berlin was throwing a takeoff. Watch Parrish right here come in and then back out, and you wonder if the two were on the same place. He goes and he cuts out and looks over his outside shoulder. I think on that play, Brock Berlin thought he was going to keep going down the field, miscommunication, incomplete pass.
They missed the injured Leroy Smith that time. Cromartie was the corner when Parrish turned inside out, and it did not take the coaches long to attack that corner. Berlin works back to the middle, short of the first down. This is going to bring up another third down as he put it into the hands of Kevin Everett. And hasn't Everett been impressive here tonight?
Yeah, best football player on the field tonight. Kind of hard to believe. You know, Kellen Winslow was so important to this football team, and Everett, they just, you know, I know there's a little drop-off. The guy's one of the best players that ever played college football, but Everett, you know, a lot of college teams would like to have him.
You don't mind if I say best offensive football
Okay,
player?
offensive football. That might be good.
Third
fair.
down and 6.
You can pick about any defensive guy, that's true.
Incomplete. In and out of Moore's hands. Should have had this pass.
Yeah. Again, the pass rush. That was a very quick route. 8 or 9 yard route. And Brock Berlin got knocked down as he was releasing it. That means he had to throw it just a bit before he wanted to, and the timing wasn't there. When you can disrupt the timing, Cromartie, man-to-man, Ryan Warner runs the right route. As soon as he turns around, it's on his shoulder. Doesn't really have a lot of time to adjust to the football. Would love to have caught it, but that was good defense by the rush.
Brian Monroe cutting again with that left foot over Washington's head for the end zone and on through, so it'll come out on the 20-yard line. And Monroe disgusted with himself for booming that too well into that wind and going off into the end zone. So we'll take a break. Noles lead the Canes by 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for playing.
ABC Sports presentation of college football brought to you by the new Chevrolets, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months on American Revolution. The Hartford Mutual Funds, official corporate partner of the NCAA. FedEx Kinko's, your one-stop for copying, printing, and shipping. Michelob Amber Bock, rich and smooth. And AOL for broadband, proud sponsor of First and 10. The hardest thing to come by tonight, First and 10. They are struggling. Only a total of 10, 8 of them by the Canes, none for Florida State since the first quarter. And now Ricks, and we will want to watch his physical condition. The shot he took, and right away they say, let's find out. They empty the backfield for him. Can the offensive line protect him? Short drop, high, incomplete. Second down and 10.
I asked Jack Arute, and then Jack said no. Did he even throw one practice throw on the sideline?
Gary, I watched, and what he did is he caught his breath, and he just sat on the last bench, and he just gathered his thoughts. I never saw him pick up a football until he got under center now.
Pretty good message by Jeff Bowen to say, let's see if you can do it. He throws an easy slant pass. I thought he didn't have a lot of zip on it. Let's keep watching.
Second and 10. Checks at the line. Run formation, and the Noles have not run the ball well here tonight. Neither Washington nor Booker have been able to do much. Good battle that time, but Atkins slams him down at the 26-yard line. Now, the two quarterbacks, and for one, a bit of redemption here tonight. Neither certainly has done much in this game. Ricks did throw a bad interception off the back foot, but it has been those two costly fumbles that have turned this game in Florida State's direction right now, and Ricks will come up with a third down. Remember now, Florida State searching for its first down since the opening quarter here at the Orange Bowl. End around and roll. Man, what a football player Antrell Roll is. Are you kidding me? Oh, baby.
He can do it all because he has what a corner has to have. Closing speed. This guy just closes in. You saw it on the reverse. Great reach. He can just eat up those footballs. And you know his size. He's been playing close to the line of scrimmage. They had him there again, and he made another play. Wow. Came back as his fourth year as a senior, like Ed Reed did. Remember when Ed Reed came back? He's the leader.
Well, he came back because so many of his teammates last year left, I'm told. He is an outstanding youngster, and he wanted to contribute to Miami's chances to win a national championship. And if the offense could play like Roll plays defense, they'd have a whack at it. Now Parrish will try to give him some field position. On the move. 20-yard line. And now Brock Berlin and Miami, wind at their back. They've got a chance. Look at Davis. Not a chance in the world. Not my way, says Andrell. Never, never, never. Welcome back to the Orange Bowl and the BCS Spotlight Game, presented by ADT, with Florida State shutting out Miami. But the Canes with another opportunity. They're in Florida State territory. They'll start from the 38-yard line. Brock Berlin. Basic I formation behind him. And they'll run the ISO play with Moss. And, let's go back to that last third down play for Miami.
Yeah, let's sync it up here. Ryan Moore against Cromartie. Brock Berlin in the small box to the top of the right. Look at the timing on this play. Against good defenses, the quarterback must anticipate the throw. Let's watch. Brock lets it go. He really wasn't under a lot of pressure. He could have held it. On this play, the receiver, Ryan Moore, thought the ball was going to be on a crossing route. Hits him on the shoulder. Really, nobody does anything wrong. Quarterback trying to anticipate. Receiver trying to pressure the ball across the middle of the field. It's one of the things you do when you face a good defense. You must anticipate, and you must throw the ball a little early.
A.J. Nicholson, the linebacker for Florida State, receiving some medical treatment, and so he will come out for at least a play. But down on the near side, while that was going on, Kevin Everett limped off the field, the fine tight end, and Ortega, Buck Ortega, number 15, checked into the lineup, and reminded the time permitting the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report with John, Craig, and Aaron. So they'll have some highlights and analysis from tonight's game. The fellows look like they were having a great time there at halftime with their Heisman Trophy and FedEx Orange Bowl predictions. Of course, we'll be right back up the road for the national championship game. Both these coaches would love to be involved. Last year was the first time that a Florida school did not play for the national championship. As far as the BCS is concerned, Bobby Bowden was involved in that first one, won by Tennessee. Down at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, second down. Moss again, but nothing doing. That front of Florida State holds its own at the 35-yard line. Chauncey Davis, the first to hit him, and you know, it's been so much speculation about who was going to play quarterback here at Miami. We asked Larry Coker why he chose Brock Berlin and made the announcement so early.
Brock Berlin was our quarterback, and there's really no reason to put him on the bench for what he had done. Now, do we need to play better at that position? Sure we do. We know that, Brock knows that, and we expect him to play better with the year's experience that he has now.
So Brock a little bit under the gun, because if Miami doesn't come back in this game, the drums will start to beat here in South Florida for Kyle Wright, a redshirt freshman, ballyhooed youngster out of the state of California. He's out of Danville, California. Redshirt freshman, and very impressive physically. You see that Travis Johnson is down.
Well, they already lost Leroy Smith. The corner has not come back. Number 32, remember, Cromartie's back in there at corner. Play before Nicholson goes out, and now right now Johnson goes out. So almost three out of the last 5 plays, they lose a player on defense.
We've got a moment. Let's take you to the ACC story. The fine Commissioner John Swafford is here tonight. And we said it was a conference game, but we want to show you realignment next year. Boston College we highlight because they're not in the ACC this year, still playing in the Big East, but they'll join next year. But note that Florida State and Miami are in opposite divisions. Now, they will play each other every single season during the regular season, but there is the possibility that they could play for the ACC Conference Championship game, which will be coming to you not this season, but next year. And you can see how the two divisions look. They still have not decided, and maybe they need a contest for that. And
Brock Berlin is split out again as the wide receiver.
So sort of a single wing play, and it doesn't work. It didn't get anything that time as Sonorous Moss took the direct snap. The last time, Parrish fumbled on a direct snap in the first half, and this time Moss unable to pick up anything. And now this is a 4th down. I am amazed that they're not kicking a field goal with Petty. I am amazed that they're not getting on the scoreboard.
He easily made a 53-yarder, right, when they called the timeout?
I just hate to second guess, but
really, well, I'll do it.
And now
Florida State took a timeout.
So Florida State burns a timeout. And I'm still puzzled. Why wouldn't you put 3 on the board?
I'm standing with the ADT National Championship Trophy that'll go at the FedEx Orange Bowl later this year or the start of next year. Now, these two teams account for a total of 6 of these trophies. 4 here in Coral Gables in Miami and 2 up at Florida State. But the 2 at Florida State, Brent, are missing these. They were stolen during an off-season situation where the trophy room was being rebuilt. So Florida State has ordered 2 new Waterford footballs. You know how much they cost? A total of $60,000. Let's go back. I'll throw it to you.
Oh, hang on down there,
$60,000. We're taking that out of your paycheck, Jack.
Wow.
It'll take you 2 years to pay for that.
Do you suppose they're in some fraternity house as a prank?
Yeah, probably.
All right, here we go now. It's 4th down for Miami. They're being shut out by Florida State. 7:26 to go with the wind at their back. It would be a long field goal in defense of this play, but they've got to pick it up here. They need to get inside the 28. Incomplete, and the ball goes over to Florida State, and I can't believe it.
That was a bad throw, too. Man-to-man coverage, you got a 6'5" tight end. You see Brock pointing to himself. You just have to make that play. Brock has more time to survive this thing because they're not going to yank him out of this football game. But when you have man-to-man, they're going to blitz off here. Here's the Big Ten coming across. This is the guy covering him. You have to make that play. Best player on the offense, as Brent liked to say, coming across man-to-man. He's got to step on him, throws it right into the ground.
Ricks and the Noles take over. Here is a team with only 45 yards of total offense. Lorenzo Booker is now the running back. There are 4 wides for the Noles, who lead at 10-0 thanks to 2 turnovers, 1 fumble recovery, returned 61 yards for a touchdown by Cromartie. Ricks changes up at the line. Complete on 1st down to the 39-yard line with Crefonzo Thorpe, their fine wide receiver. And quite a story, as you can see that he has a protected shin guard on. He suffered a broken leg when a player from North Carolina State rolled up on him. Jack?
Yeah, Brent, and this I'm fairly familiar with. Not the shin guard itself. The shin guard itself I'm familiar with. It's made out of carbon fiber. Use a lot of carbon fiber in IndyCar racing. And it was designed by the son of one of the NASA astronauts.
All right, Jack, now it's 2nd down. 4 wide for Ricks. Inside handoff to Booker, and he's going nowhere. And, you know, Thorpe is a very good spokesman for this team, and we ask him if this game means everything, breaking a 5-game losing streak.
What we have to do is win every game this season, and they're the first people on our schedule, and we need to take care of business.
So you've got bigger goals in mind than just beating Miami.
This is bigger than Miami. We're trying to win a national championship. We're trying to go undefeated.
And if they win this game, and they were a slight underdog here tonight, but if they win this game, I think they'll be favored in every game the rest of the way, unless something happens and there's a bunch of injuries. But when you look at their schedule, this could set up a run for the national championship. But first things first, 3rd down. Fire's got the 1st down, well-thrown football. Down to the 45-yard line that time. Chauncey Stovall, big senior from Gifford, Florida.
This is what I think both teams should be doing. They cannot really control the game from being under center. They're going to have to get their quarterback out of space, get their receivers in space, and run a little bit of this shotgun offense. That's the type of pitch and catch that will defeat any defense. If you throw it right and run a good route, you can't be covered.
And Ricks and the Noles have to feel good about their first down since the opening quarter of this football game. Ricks back in the gun. Coming, and obviously there was a whistle and flag thrown. And you could tell by the way Rick stopped on the play.
Foul, delay of game, number 16 of the offense, 5-yard penalty. It's still 1st down.
On the quarterback's shoulders.
1st down.
That takes him back outside the 50-yard line and makes it 1st and 15. Not much motion. Florida State lines up 4 wide, but they sit there. Running back is open, but he's going to go deep. Deflected away, out of bounds, covered by 3. The strong safety coming over on the play. The running back was open in the middle of this pattern if he had checked down to him. And at the end of the game, we'll select a Chevrolet player of the game from each team. Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund.
Another really silly play by Chris Ricks. Miami lines up with their safeties almost 15 yards off the ball. They stay back there, as you pointed out, 1st and 15. Why not pick up 6 or 7 yards? Did you watch Tom Brady do it? That's the way you do it.
2nd down and 15. In trouble. Fumble.
Oh, yeah.
Miami jumps on it. Chris Ricks has turned it over. And again, Miami has field position with still 5 minutes remaining. I think Ricks might be saying that he was down. We'll take a look at this.
There is a conference going on about it. Baraka Atkins, number 98, is the guy that comes around, wraps up Ricks. Little help on the inside that time. The ball comes out clearly.
And Carroll, I believe, recovers this fumble.
Yeah, I think that ball's out. That's a good call. That's an easy call. We can take a job in the Big Ten right now. Stand up here and make these calls.
We wouldn't even stop the game. Keep going. Play on.
He's got to protect the ball. Chris Ricks knew he was getting sacked. You can't fumble that ball when you know you're getting sacked.
And the coaches are not happy.
Right. 5th-year senior, people are depending on you not to make that play. Careless. It's just careless.
It's given Miami a golden opportunity, but they have not been able to take advantage. Ortega in motion. They'll flare to Gore, and nothing doing. In fact, he lost about 4 yards. Sam McGrew defended it, and those turnovers, Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, that turnover, that ball strip that we saw is by design. The Miami Hurricanes defensive coordinator, Randy Shannon, puts his entire defense through specific ball stripping drills. In fact, he pays them a reward, or actually a penalty. If they're not able to do it in practice, they have to drop down and give him 10. I think they ought to give that guy a reward and let him skip 10 the next time.
Yeah, Jack, I agree. Be careful about them paying rewards, man. That's probably a violation. 2nd down from the 45-yard line. Straight basic eye. Berlin steps away, fires complete, and he puts it in the hands of Olsen. There's the transfer from Notre Dame. Greg Olsen, a very good-looking athlete when you watch Miami's practice. Don't the Irish wish they had him lining up against Michigan?
Brent, watch Eric Winston right here. Everyone gets beat occasionally. Watch his quickness as he recovers and swipes him off Brock Berlin. That's the type of quickness at offensive tackle. Some guys can't move and make that play. That's why Eric Winston is going to be making $4 or $5 million a year in a couple of years.
Miami inside the Knowles 30. Here comes Gore trying to get the corner. And he is at the 26-yard line, tackled by Antonio Cromartie, the sophomore from Tallahassee.
Another Seminole with cramps out on the field.
You can see Jones trying to shake it off.
Yep.
The defensive coaches continuing to substitute liberal here. 2nd down and long. For Andrews' defense, a big defensive play here. If they can keep him in 3rd and long. Brock Berlin's converted only 4 of 14 third downs. 2nd down, and Gore picks his way close to the 25-yard line, and so this will be about 3rd and maybe 7 with Wembley making the stop. Well, the NFL will be in full swing this weekend. If you're like me, you check in on the NFL Countdown every week, presented by Old Spice Red Zone, Sunday at 11 a.m. And Chris Berman, the Boomer, will be there with the whole gang, and they'll tell you about all the good stories around the NFL, and you want more information, log on to ESPN.com. Now it's third down. Shotgun look again from Berlin.
Three-man defensive line. Let's see if they get pressure with it.
Now a backer creeps, and he's coming. Picked up on the outside. Fires incomplete.
Now that one should have been caught. You can't throw it any better than that. Ryan Moore, a go-to count-on guy, has to make that catch. I gave him the benefit of the doubt on the first one, okay?
He should have had both of them.
But this one, the ball's thrown 40 yards in the air. Anybody, the tuba guy, could see that one.
So now Petty will attempt a field goal, 42 yards, in an effort to put Miami on the board. Matt Carter is the holder. He'll put it down. And no good. So Petty misfires again. And it is not going Miami's way here tonight. When they're playing Florida State and they start to miss field goals, you know it might not be the Canes' night.
This has got to be tough to swallow for Miami now. They've given up 60 total yards in this football game, and they got a goose egg on the scoreboard. 60 yards against Florida State with a goose egg.
Take a look at Mickey Andrews and the defensive coaches on that sideline.
Yeah, they're going, they owe us 6 of those.
Ricks back on the field with the offense. Deflected. Almost intercepted. Another bad throw. Stovall, the intended receiver. Atkins deflects it.
Well, the defensive lineman knocked this one down. Atkins is the guy that got the sack on the fumble, and now he backs off and knocks this pass down. Ricks is saying, get that guy's hands down. Number 98 backs off. Nothing he could do. The line couldn't do anything on it either. What a heads-up play. Atkins knows he can't skip there, so he just puts his hands up like he's coached to do.
Second and 10. Florida State, 60 total yards. Gary mentioned Miami, 177. But Florida State leads the most important number. There's a direct snap from the nose to the tailback. Now Washington to the 31-yard line. 3 up to make that stop. Coming down inside of 2 minutes here in the third quarter. The Orange Bowl on a sultry night in Miami. And the Florida State Seminoles have taken advantage of a couple of plays, and then they survived after Ricks turned it over. Petty's field goal, wide right. Third down for Ricks and the Noles, and on third downs tonight, they're only 2 of 9. Well, first down, a beautiful throw to Thorpe.
Now that's how you get first downs. When you do it right, you're going to get first downs. Remember before they ran that slant in the first half, and it was on the back shoulder of Thorpe, he had to stop and he didn't get it? This is thrown properly. When your receiver's coming to the middle of the field, he expects it on his front shoulder. Like Montana, like Elway, like the guys that complete those passes. That's what you do when you want to get first downs. That's good execution by Chris Ricks.
Miami continues to line Antrell Roll up as the slot defensive back. Ricks under pressure throws sideline out of bounds over there on that far side. Stovall was the intended receiver that time, and it will be second down and 10.
Yeah, that you can tell Roll is so valuable because they bring in Marcus Maxey, number 24, in their nickel and dime package and move Roll onto the slot where he's a threat to blitz every play, and he comes and he knows how to do it, and he's tough to block.
It was low scoring in the FedEx Orange Bowl, and it is low scoring here tonight. These teams playing for the third time in 11 months. Second down and 10. Fires too high, but pulled down at the 45-yard line by Lorne Sam, PK's brother. making his first catch of the night, and it's 17 yards.
I think that's the first bust that Miami has had in the coverage all night. They did not align correctly, and they just turned the slot completely free this time. You see it, no safety comes over. It's an easy pitch and catch on the play, and that's the first time Miami all night has blitzed and not covered up the guy who comes from the slot.
And now it is the Noles who can run the timeout here in the third quarter. Lunford, who started at that guard spot tonight for Coach Bowden, shaken up on the play. He'll have to come out for a play. Both offensive lines have had their hands full in this game.
And remember, Lunford's playing for Bobby Meeks, the center, the left guard that was supposed to start the football game. So let's see if Meeks comes in. He's not healthy.
Has to come off, remember, for one play. Then he can come back in the game. But the point I was going to make, and we go back to a curious decision to start this game. Florida State won the coin toss, and they deferred. Miami received into the wind. And Florida State was able to kick a long field goal in the first quarter to go ahead by 3 points. And now, as we come down toward the fourth quarter, it will be Florida State, which will have the wind at their sails in the fourth quarter. So again, a strange way to start this game. And there is the young man who put them ahead. And the last 13 times these two teams have played, the team that scores first has won the game. Neither team has ever won 6 games in a row. Right now, Miami is sitting on a 5-game winning streak, but they're trailing it 10-0 here.
And I was going to say, I was wondering what was the holdup right here, but there had to be somebody injured on the play because everybody just standing around. It was the umpire. So are they taking him out of the game, or is he just catching his breath?
George Burton, whom we met down below, there's the head linesman, of course. Jack Childress will certainly use somebody. So he is out on that far sideline over there. He's been out for a couple of plays, we are now told. And obviously, they'll just move this crew around. You've got to operate. You've got to have somebody in the umpire's position.
I think they take the back judge and move him up there.
1st and 10. Inside handoff to Booker, sidesteps one tackler, crosses the 40-yard line. We check in now with John Saunders in New York. John?
With the Taco Bell update, Oregon State, they almost had a victory over the defending champs to start the season facing Boise State. Derek Anderson goes 49 yards to Mike Haas, and Oregon State has grabbed a 7-0 lead.
There is the injured umpire, George Burton, and we are told that Tommy Pace has moved up. And we'll come back to Miami after this message and word from our ABC station.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports, home of the Bowl Championship Series.
Florida State with a 2nd and 4 as we start the final 15 minutes of regulation. The Noles lead it by 10. Chris Ricks with Booker off to his right-hand side and 4 wides against this Miami defense. Goes deep and intercepted. Picked off at the 15 by Greg Threet. The 2nd interception Ricks has thrown here tonight.
I can tell you, if I was an offensive coordinator, I would be unhappy with a freshman or a sophomore making a throw like that. There's the safety in the middle of the field. You have to account for that guy when you throw it out in the middle. That's the first thing you learn as a quarterback when you throw the ball like that, especially with a 10-0 lead. You got the wind to your back and you have a chance for a field goal. A brutal play by Chris Ricks.
So that's the bad news as far as Florida State is concerned. The good news is that Miami will have to move almost 90 yards to score here. So Brock Berlin pump fake on 1st down. Gonna go deep, got a man wide open, got
where they came down. There was a lot of squatting. Gerard Ross, number 11, a backup peeking inside. Moss runs a little dip inside, goes. Perfect throw from Brock Berlin. That's what you do to those squatting corners. You got to throw it deep every once in a while.
Parrish off to the left for Berlin. The Canes inside the 25-yard line, trailing it by 10. Berlin fires right side, out of bounds at the 3-yard line. He comes back to Greg Olsen. The transfer from Notre Dame, second catch of the night, and it's 1st and goal, Miami.
I was just going to say, if you're a Notre Dame fan, close your ears. This guy's a transfer from Notre Dame, and he is going to be a wonderful football player. What a specimen, great hands, and Berlin makes a perfect throw away from the defense.
Gore is the tailback. Second and goal for Miami. So Miami with its best scoring chance of the night, and you would think they've got to cash in on this opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. They need 7 here. You know, if it's 4th and long, you got to get the field goal, but with the feeling that you have after the turnover, the interception, a Sean Taylor-like interception. We were talking about it in the break. Brent was saying they need a Sean Taylor interception, and they get one, but now they got to stick it in the end zone. I look for this to be a pass play action pass play to the 2 tight ends.
Berlin in trouble, steps away from it, gonna run it. It is 3rd and goal. As Kyler Hall, who stripped the ball loose, setting up the game's only touchdown, makes the stop, the touchdown-saving stop on the Miami quarterback, and now it is 3rd and goal.
Watch how much they hold Olsen on this play as he comes across. I don't know if we're going to get it. It was pit framing in the middle there. Oh, yeah, look at they're grabbing him. Forces Brock Berlin to run it, and then the quickness of that Florida State defense stops him again. Great defensive stand by Florida State.
Here's your 3rd and goal. Ortega is 15 in motion. Fires for him, and incomplete. It'll be 4th and goal now.
You almost have to go for it, don't you? The way your defense is playing, you got to cut. Whoa, he's going to take the 3 points. I'd say the way that Miami defense is playing, I'd go for it.
Larry Coker wants on the board. Thinks he's going to get another chance with this much time left. Just to cut it down to 7 if he can. Ready? And Miami is on the board.
It's a big stand by Florida State.
Instead of going for it on 4th and 2, Miami elects to tighten the noose just a little bit. Put points on the board. Now down by only 7. Well, our Nissan Drive summary features Miami quarterback Brock Berlin, who came off a bad 3rd down pass into the ground, and then he hit Moss with the long play, the bulk of the 86 yards. They did bog down inside the 5. Olsen gave him a 1st and goal. They settle for the field goal, and it's 10-3 with 12:39 remaining. The question now is whether or not Ricks is going to make another big mistake. 2 interceptions and a fumble here tonight. Kickoff fielded by Willie Reed. And Reed is to the 20-yard line. And before we catch up with the Noles offense, let's check in with John Saunders in New York.
Brent, we showed you Oregon State's Derek Anderson going 49 yards to Mike Haas. Well, this time it's just 9 yards as he chased out to his right. Haas does the work to get it across the goal line. And Oregon State, a very good team, 14-0 their lead.
The total yards in this game. And Ricks, who has turned it over 3 times, needs to settle down as far as Seminole fans are concerned. Drops it off to Booker. Booker in space to the 29-yard line and right at that first down marker. And again, I want to remind you that we've got a triple header on ABC, your home for college football, right up to the BCS championship here in Miami. You'll get to start out at noon and 3:30. Marshall, Ohio State might be fun to watch that one if you're up in the Midwest, Big Ten country. Then tomorrow night, Gary and I are going to go up to Clemson, see the Georgia Tech game. Looking forward to that. And, we'll even invite old Jack Arute to come with us. Second down. And Ricks goes up over the top for the first down. And Jack Arute, do you think that one of Bobby's sons, Tommy, and Clemson might be watching this football game?
Well, here's the story that came out of Clemson just about an hour before kickoff. The team met with their head coach, Tommy Bowden, and said, Coach, I know we always get to watch a pre-game movie. Would it be okay if we forego the movie tonight and just tune into ABC's coverage of your daddy playing Miami? He said, yeah, that'd be fine. So they're all gathered around the TV set as a team, watching Dad getting ready for their game with that man's son tomorrow against Georgia Tech.
That should be a good football game. Chan Gailey, Reggie Ball, the Georgia Tech quarterback, enjoyed going up and interviewing him earlier this week. But right now, it's Ricks. Couldn't find the open receiver, and he runs it to the 35-yard line.
I thought he had Thorpe wide open on the slant that time and just didn't feel good about it, but made a positive play out of it. Instead of trying to make too much out of it, trying to do too much, take a 5-yard scramble, move the chains. One of the things that Chris Ricks said he was going to do this year is not think touchdowns so much, but think drives. He has yet to do that in this game, but that's the way he has to play the quarterback position. If it's not there, you don't feel good, run it up the middle.
Second down. Ricks under pressure, incomplete. And Chauncey Stovall really was not open. Ball out of bounds as we bring it up. Well, you know what Bobby Bowden probably said to Ricks over there before he came out with this. Dadgummit, young man, one more turnover and go to that other sideline. You know?
He said, I spent the whole offseason on the banquet circuit protecting you. Let's keep going. This Miami team has a lot of pride, losing 4 first-round draft choices, yet still show little drop-off.
In trouble, Rolls got him again. And he almost came up fired, man. When you're wrapped up like that, get yourself down. Nobody has been able to block Roll when he blitzes from the nickelback spot. I mean, it's amazing that the coaches haven't picked that up tonight.
It isn't amazing. That's one thing. It's embarrassing. This is ABCD football here. This is checkers. Nothing exotic about that. The guy coming off the slot is coming every time, and they have yet to block it.
That's an 11-yard loss. They pick up 11 yards in field position. And so Larry Coker knew what he was doing. Now they come after the punt. Put the 3 up. We're going to get it back with a lot of time. And Parrish makes a fair catch just at the 25-yard line. So we'll take a break and come back with Brock Berlin and the Hurricanes. The ABC Sports presentation of college football is brought to you by Nissan. Everything we touch, we shift, and everything we shift, we try to make better. Capital One, no hassle rewards. What's in your wallet? Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. Pacific Life, offering insurance, annuities, and investments. And AOL for Broadband, proud sponsor of First and 10. Brock Berlin and the Canes looking for a few first and 10s right now. 9:53, plenty of time. Frank Gore's his tailback. Here comes Gore. Searches for daylight to the 29-yard line, about 4 yards on that run. That was Chauncey Davis, the defensive end from Auburndale, Florida, making the stop.
Frank Gore has to feel good about himself, and Hurricane fans have to feel good about the fact that he's played this long, tough, physical game and shows no effects of double knee surgery, 2 ACLs. Florida State desperately needs that defense now to get a stop.
Jenkins is the wide receiver out to the left. Berlin wanted to set the screen, and a penalty flag comes down on holding. It's incomplete, but I believe there's a holding call.
That just didn't look good, did it?
No,
Discombobulated. The pattern didn't look good. The whole thing just fell apart, and now it's going to be second and very long. Yeah, you almost have to take this penalty, don't you? You can't make it 3rd and 5.
Well, I think you have to take
Absolutely.
Holding number 74 of the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Previous spot. Repeat second down.
Quad Hill off the Miami sideline. Checks in for Coach Coker.
The All-American candidate, Eric Winston, gets the holding penalty on that play. And it just didn't look right. Just from the start, people were bumping into each other and just never had a chance. Here's where Brock is most comfortable from the shotgun.
2nd and 16. Hurries the slot. And back almost to the original line of scrimmage, so this will be 3rd and long. Johnson, the defensive tackle out of Sherman Oaks, California, has played a big game for the Noles here tonight.
Perfect job by the secondary that time, forcing the receiver, the ball carrier, whatever, the guy that has the ball inside, let the pursuit come back and make the play. Instead of trying to make the big play yourself, stay patient and wait for help from everyone else.
Now the Noles front will attempt to cut down on Berlin's time. Needs 11 yards. First down markers at the 35-yard line. Under pressure, fires for it, incomplete. And the defense of Florida State forces Miami to punt. Pressure from Buster Davis, the linebacker from Daytona Beach.
I'll tell you, Mickey Andrews rolled the dice that time. Brought 5 people to pressure, played a real loose zone, and Buster Davis, the linebacker, rushed on the play and forced Berlin to throw the ball early. I'll tell you, Ryan Moore's having a struggling game. He tripped coming out of his route right there, and he's had a couple of drops, or 1.5.
Brian Monroe standing just inside the 10, hits it at the 14-yard line. Reed waiting to return it. Gambles and beats the gunner. Woo. Down hard at the 46-yard line. 8 minutes left in regulation. Florida State 10, Miami 3. Well, obviously the Noles haven't played Miami in a season opener in the last few years. In fact, they've won 14 straight openers in their last loss, 1989, against Brett Favre and Southern Miss.
Wonder whatever happened to him.
And Monday Night Football, Green Bay and Carolina. Here is Washington. Crosses midfield in our Pacific Life game summary. The problems of Ricks, Gary.
It's been a little of everything for Chris Ricks. You know, it's either a fumble, not taking care of the ball on first down right there, an ill-advised pass down the middle to a safety, or a sack from the corner. Antrell Roll, there he gets it again. It's been everything for this quarterback tonight except for yards. And remember, this is an experienced offense. 9 returning starters. Now, a couple of injuries, I know, but a very experienced offense returning for Florida State.
Second down for Ricks and the Noles. 7:25 in regulation. Washington again. Tough runner. That's a tough 2 or 3 yards against this Miami defense. Merriweather was there defensively. And, you know, we've talked about Ricks, and so we asked Coach Bobby Bowden about Ricks being 0 for 4 against Miami.
Chris Ricks cannot beat Miami. It'll take the Florida State football team to beat Miami. He go out there and throw 7 touchdown passes, and defense give up 8, and you get beat, you know? So I'm not depending on him to beat Miami.
not to make another big mistake.
I think that slot will rush again. Here's one of them. Here's the other. Will they come?
This time it's a linebacker, and Ricks flushed will keep it. Jumps for the first down. Oh, mercy. Going airborne for him. Well, he'll throw his body around, and
sure will.
As much as the coaches are down on his turnovers, they will applaud this effort. Take a look.
This is what you do when you're a great athlete. Nothing there, got the wrong play on, sell it out. Fourth quarter against Miami, haven't been able to throw the ball. Look at that play. That's about a 15-foot, 15 to 18-foot jump there.
That's some effort.
What a play.
That will be a highlight shown over and over with the struggling Ricks trying to close the door here with 6:48. And Hooker trips up. He's down, so it'll be second down and long. 6:40 on that clock, and it's 10-3. Florida State trying to snap a 5-game losing streak here. The Orange Bowl, the scene of so many great football games through the years. You think of some of the names: Doug Flutie, Benny Testaverde, Bernie Kosar, Kellen Winslow, Bob Greasy, Larry Zonka, Don Shula. I mean, it goes on and on.
Did you mention Flutie? Did you mention Flutie?
Yes, I did.
Oh, that's the one. I think you were there.
Huh? Second down. Rolled, and that time he goes over the corner.
Boy, Chris Davis made a wonderful play there. Antrell Roll, who hasn't given up many completions, he shut down Larry Fitzgerald, only gave up one completion to Thorpe last year, and look at that pitch and catch. You only need 1 foot in. Does he get it? Catches it? Boy, that's very, very close. Is he bobbling this? I don't know. That was almost a double catch, but they're calling it good. Now I'll tell you, now it's the 17th and 18th hole. Now a field goal will mean something for Florida State.
With the wind at their back, up by 7. 10-point lead would be huge in this game.
Oh, no.
Ricks.
Oh, no.
Throws it up for grabs, and he was almost bailed out by Willie Reed.
What are you doing?
What an athletic move to save it. I mean, he just kind of threw it up for grabs. He's in pain now.
I don't get that call at all. He just throws it up off his back foot again. Could have easily been going the other way, and Kelly Jennings could have made a play on that, and Reed make the save. You watch this run. I'll say this ball is going between the tackles.
Second down and 10. Sprints to the right corner, crosses the 20-yard line. It'll be third down, perhaps 5 yards to go here at 5.5 minutes.
I don't know if Florida State has a bootleg type pass where you can get Chris Ricks away from that pass rush. You know Miami's going to come here. If you look at the scouting report on Miami, you listen to Florida State, Jeff Bowden told us, when you get inside the 20-yard line, they're going to blitz you. If you could get Chris Ricks around the corner, a safe pass run option, you can see what he does when he wants to run the ball, and then if it isn't there, you have an opportunity to kick the field goal and made it a 10-point lead. Very conservative.
Short of the first down. Leon Williams with the stop. And now here comes the young man. Missed a couple in those 2 games last year. One, of course, very decisive.
This is the one. He makes this one. He's going to feel good, real good about his contribution tonight.
You put him on the scoreboard. Salvia Beitia, the senior kicker from Tampa, the captain of the special teams, and What an opportunity here. We talked yesterday, and I said all you can ask for in sports is just another chance. 35 yards. Blocked. Blocked. That was Devin Hester who blocked it. And of all the misfirings by Florida State kickers through the years, that's the first one that was blocked. When you think of wide right and wide left, they were clean kicks that simply missed. That one for Bobby Bowden was blocked, but it's heartache with the field goal unit on the field one more time.
Everything looked good. The snap was slightly high, but doesn't look like it was off or anything. The kick didn't look low, but Hester, the speed guy coming around the corner, lays out, and it looked like he got his right hand out. He's right around the corner. Look at that.
Now it's on Brock Berlin.
Never easy for Florida State, is it? For this football game.
They'll change the ball here.
One thing different for Miami in the second half. I believe they have all 3 timeouts left in the game. Yes, they do. Let's see if Florida State stays as aggressive in the secondary as they have been, or do they back up and let Miami chip and dunk it all the way down the field?
3 wide for Berlin. Complete. And a penalty flag is thrown. A penalty flag thrown on the far side. Moss may have given up a first down when he dipped back, but that's about the time the penalty flag came flying, and Miami not happy about this call.
I thought he pushed off of Leroy Smith over there on the corner, I believe it was. I think it was 32. I can't quite see the number, but there was 2 wide open in that situation.
Pass interference, number 1 of the offense, half the distance to the goal, it's still first down.
So Roscoe Parrish makes another big mistake, and you can watch him push off clearly on this play.
Yeah. Actually, he wasn't even in the play. Had he not done that, ball still would have been completed. Florida State's corners were playing way off and giving them the short play.
Gives you an idea. Field goal doesn't mean a thing. They've got to have a touchdown. It's 10-3. Berlin's going to go for it. Intercepted. Picked off at the 40-yard line by Antonio Cromartie, who has scored the game's only touchdown, and now he comes up with a huge interception for Florida State.
Cromartie. There he is on the bottom of the screen right there, playing way off, just like the last play. It looked to me like Florida State was going to give the underneath pass. 1st and 20. Miami tries to throw a deep takeoff. Look at this catch. I got to tell you, Brent, we were down there in warm-ups. Cromartie was out there almost 2 hours before the game with the wide receivers catching balls. It paid off, didn't it?
It sure did. He looked like a wide receiver.
Absolutely.
Just as you were saying that, when he made that over-the-shoulder catch. And
that is not easy. And he was catching, he must have caught 25 of those before the game. You got to give it to Cromartie because he was going to have knee surgery. He decided not to have it. He's going to have it after the year.
Now the Noles are 3:42 away. Dadgummit, how can we kill this clock? He's chomping on that gum over there on the far side. One of the grand old men of the history of college football. Just never met a nicer guy to be around and talk college football with, and suffered tragedy earlier this week.
Yeah, you'll never hear me say anything bad about Bobby Bowden, I'll tell you that.
Pounding into the line now with the workhorse Washington. Now I want to take you to Cromartie, who certainly has been the player of the game. He has made just 2 huge impact plays. In the first half, when the ball stripped from Parrish, he dashes 61 yards for the game's only touchdown. And then with Miami trying to get even, he comes back and makes an over-the-shoulder interception. At Lincoln High School in Tallahassee, he played both wide receiver and defensive back. And we were told by the Miami coaching staff, they tried to recruit him. But a lot of those Lincoln youngsters wind up staying right there in Tallahassee playing for Coach Bowden and the Seminoles. A great football program up there. Second down. And here's Washington pounding for the first down, moving the chains.
That'll force Miami now to start burning timeouts in this football game. That was a huge first down. It's been tough to come by for Florida State, but when they needed to run the ball, they did on back-to-back plays. They got a first down. You wonder if that Miami defense is a little down on their offense right now, because all game they've just completely stopped Florida State, and all of a sudden 2 plays, first down.
Given a 10-3 score, if it stays that way, and you don't know, there's still 2:48 to go, but if it stays that way, there'll be a quarterback controversy in South Florida before the week's over.
Hey.
Pending what happens with the Dolphins in their Saturday game against the Titans.
You know when you finally made it as a quarterback, when you can have a stinker game like this, and there isn't a quarterback controversy.
Please start the clock on the prescribed signal.
And I want to follow up on that because I really don't blame Brock Berlin. There were a couple of passes that I thought should have been caught.
I agree with you.
By his main wide man here tonight. The offensive line had trouble getting creases for the running game against that defensive front. Everett was shaken up and injured. I certainly don't put this squarely on the shoulders of the quarterback.
I think he's outplayed Chris Ricks tonight.
Yep. But the most important advantage belongs to Ricks and the Knowles. 10-3 now. Right. Man, is he a worker? Time permitting, of course, we'll have the Thrifty Car Rental post-game report, so you can stay tuned if we have time following this game. 2:35.
Interesting call here by Larry Coker, not taking timeouts. On offense in college football, the clock stops after every first down. There's plenty of time if you get stops. When you have 1 minute and 10 with no timeouts, you can drive the length of the field. I think if they get a stop here, they're going to use a timeout.
There's the penalty flag. Did the clock expire on him?
I think there was movement up front.
The snap, false start,
exactly.
62 of the offense, 5-yard penalty, and it's still second down.
Now remember, the coach can call timeout himself. All he has to do with the new rule this year is grab that official's attention and call timeout, so he can control the clock. Bobby and Larry both.
So a sub-offensive lineman, Corey Niblock, as both teams have gone to substitutes. That's how
Niblock is third team.
Right. 159 and counting now. Second down and 14. Washington bounced off the first would-be tackler and struggling toward the original line of scrimmage, and it'll be third down with the clock still running.
Got to take a timeout. They did. That was a good strategy.
Well, you look at Bobby Bowden, the winningest coach in college football. He and Joe Pa had a great little running battle here, haven't they, with Bobby up by 2 and hoping it's 3 after this one. Each of them won 2 national championships, and I tell you, if you've played for him or been around him, you're just going to miss both so much. I mean, it's just, there's such terrific people, and they run so much deeper than just football coaches.
And they're both very competitive. Someone told me, I heard this from, I don't know, I can't really vouch for it, but Joe said, a couple more hurricanes, I can catch this guy.
Oh, boy. Speaking of that, I really hope that the good folks are spared here in this state. I hope it goes out to the Gulf and just implodes, and Ivan the Terrible doesn't come ashore. A lot of the people up in the Palm Beach County area and up around Boca, I understand, still struggling to get their power restored. I know those crews have been working around the clock. Let's hope that there's no more storms. Too many down here. For Bobby Bowden, of course, who suffered that family tragedy as an indirect result of Hurricane Francis, losing a former son-in-law and a grandson who was named for him. I cannot begin to tell you how strong this man is in the face of having gone to the funerals yesterday. And you can see quarterback Ricks is wearing the wristband to have the names of the two that he's wearing to honor them here tonight. And I'm sure that Ricks, who's so fond of Coach Bowden and all the players on this team, they want nothing more than to present Bobby with a victory here tonight. And they've still got a minute 37 against a tough group from Miami.
They got to run the ball here, don't they?
He's going to put it up.
Oh.
Hit incomplete.
Boy, I'll tell you.
That was dangerous. If that had gotten knocked from behind, wow, that was Glenn Sharp, the junior corner from Miami, coming around. And Berlin and the Canes are going to get it again.
Yeah, I just don't understand this. I mean, this is an opportunity to force Miami. It's 3rd and long. You haven't really moved the ball all game.
Well,
you can see it just barely got the ball loose, and you force Miami to use another timeout.
They're coming all out against this punter.
Well,
because a 5-yard penalty is not going to give the Seminoles a first down in this situation.
Nope, exactly.
And they're coming all out here.
The punter has to know that. It's just a pooch punt over the end right now.
He's just got to get it off.
Yep.
And he does. He's punted well tonight. The wind takes it to the end zone, and so 80 yards away. And that's the time remaining, 1:22, and
2 timeouts.
As Gary has said, not only timeouts, but you get a first down in the college game. It stops the clock. They must have the touchdown, of course. They're down 10-3.
You know, not really the second guess. It is kind of our job. We both kind of reacted when Larry was down there that he should have gone for the 7. The reason is how often you get down there against this team, and now you would only need a field goal to tie the football game, assuming you made the touchdown. You might not have made the touchdown, I understand, but, you know, when you're down there.
So it's been a while.
Florida State has been plagued with these cramps. This is 5th, 6th guy that's had the cramps tonight. I think you'll see exclusively shotgun for Brock. Remember, he had that tremendous come-from-behind victory against Florida. He started his career at Florida as a shotgun quarterback. His high school lineage was out of shotgun, so he's very comfortable in it. You don't have to be greedy. Just matriculate that ball down the field with some short passes, like Hank Stram would say.
The middle's open, Jack.
Now the prideful Florida State defense knows now, one stop and you win. You beat Miami in Miami. For 4 years you've been hearing about it from Miami, about how they got your number. And now you have a chance. You're on the field, defense. One stop and you win a football game. Not just any football game, the football game.
Parrish and Moss, 2 of the wideouts here for Berlin. Ryan Moore taking most of the snaps. Parrish will be slotted to the right.
Mickey Andrews going with a 3-man front, but he has been blitzing these 2 guys to make it a 5-man rush. Let's see if he does it. He brings 5.
Stepping up, throwing deep, and well defended again by Cromartie.
They're playing very soft. You know, quarterback told me when I got into the league, Brent, that the quarterback has pressure all the time when you're playing. But in the last minute and a half of a game, the defensive backs start to feel the pressure.
Cromartie's got to come out for a play.
Yep. And you wonder if Leroy Smith can play.
Watch the end of this play. Moore going up on him.
And it looks like he might have got the wind knocked out of him. He landed right on his stomach. Remember, he's got the bad knee coming into the game. But it looks like Florida State's defenders are playing off wanting to give the short pass, not wanting to get beat deep. And Miami has continued to try to throw the ball deep here in this 2-minute offense. They're holding his right knee. Well, but
did he take an awkward step? I realized the weight was coming down. It was.
They're also holding his left shoulder.
Yeah, he's all beat up.
Yeah. This could have been intercepted. Ryan Moore actually makes his best play of the night, knocking the pass down. He looked like he landed on his left shoulder also.
He is certainly the player of the game as far as Florida State is concerned. And
yes, he did. Got that hyper-extended arm with his left shoulder there.
Young man's played a whale of a football game.
Where they need him on the field. He's got to limp that off and get out there. Can you do that? Limp that off? That's what they used to say.
Well, let's see now how Brock and McCain's go after that now weakened defensive secondary. Remember at the top of the broadcast, we said that the Noles could go 4 and deeper. And Smith, who was shaken up himself, back on the field now, number 32. 1:15 left in regulation. Miami must have a touchdown here. Middle. Parrish. First down. Clock will stop at the 44-yard line. Still plenty of time.
It looks like there's a flag down there back by the quarterback. It must be against Florida State.
Well, they're staying right up here where the reception was, so.
We have a personal foul.
Oh, wow.
Contact against the quarterback, number 55. Blow to the helmet. Will add 15 yards to the end of the run.
Critical error. Eric Moore will watch Brock Berlin, the defensive end, coming from behind, no question. Got him up high.
Silly play.
No question.
Very clean play tonight, game tonight. Very clean played game tonight. But now, with 2 timeouts and 1:08 to go, this is going to be an eternity for Bobby Bowden.
The Noles safeties, 15 yards off the line.
3-man rush again.
Corners are back. It's a prevent look. Berlin steps up and comes in underneath it this time.
And he got a first down.
He uses Hill as his underneath man. Seconds remaining in regulation.
Look how much more comfortable Brock Berlin is in the shotgun than he is under center. He just feels the game better back there. Going to get a measurement here.
And for Miami, they'll take that. Anytime you get a measurement, that gives Brock Berlin a chance to go over and chat with the coaching staff on what they want done. With 51 seconds remaining. 2 timeouts still left for Miami. Should they be short of the first down, they got it.
Still a 3-man rush. If they do bring more than 3, it'll be from the linebacker spot, and it takes a little longer to get there from that spot because they're off the ball.
Frank Gore in the game as the running back. 3 wides. Everett's the tight end.
Now look at this guy blitzing Buster Davis to the quarterback back here is 10 yards away. Even if he isn't blocked, Brock should get rid of the ball.
Middle. Everett couldn't hang on as pressure was coming from Kyler Hall, the hard-hitting, strong safety. And there is a Miami, I believe, is it Everett again who's down? Yes.
Going right up the seam. You see a 5-man rush. You'll see the linebackers come right here. Guy off the corner of the other slot. Safety going away. This is a good throw. Just over the linebacker's head. Come on, big tight end, get it for me. Actually, Everett only puts one hand up and tried to make that play. Remember Kellen Winslow against West Virginia? He went up and grabbed it with both hands to make that big play. That's when you depend on the big guy to take that body. You're 6'4", turn around and catch it. get hit anyway, right? This is the guy, goes this way and then comes back to get the hit on Everett. Right down the seam. Ball's thrown pretty well. One hand up only. That's why he didn't catch the ball. Would have been a great catch, but it's much harder catch with one hand.
Olsen checks in as the tight end. And Berlin talking upstairs to the offensive coordinator. Everett will be able to return, it looks like. 41 seconds. Nobody leaving, huh?
No.
This is a good ending. Well, why not? It's Florida State and Miami.
Got Olsen in at tight end now.
They give Berlin 4 wide, empty the backfield. Underneath again. Picks up blockers and goes for daylight. Touchdown, Miami. Sonorous Moss on a well-designed play. And underneath route picked up plenty of blocking help. And has put Miami within 1.
It was the jailbreak screen. What a great call.
Petty on for the tying point. We are 30 seconds from overtime.
Here he is right here. Here's Moss. You can see the 3-man.
You're watching college football on ABC Sports Championship Television.
Unlike the NFL, there's no sudden death in the NCAA overtime. Teams, of course, get equal possessions. That means that each team handles it at least once. You begin on the opponent's 25-yard line. Process is repeated until the tie is broken. And starting the third overtime, you have to go for 2 points after a touchdown. The critical penalty as Moore hits Berlin in the helmet. The 15-yard gain as Brock Berlin. Then the screen pass attacking that weakened corner of Florida State as they go 80 yards, 5 plays, 52 seconds. And now our ACC crew will bring him out here for the toss, and Jack Childress will take us through that. The team that wins normally goes on defense so you can see what your opponent is going to do, field goal, touchdown, or turn it over on downs, or turn it over.
You know, they say it in all sports, and it's true. If you got a weakness, the water will eventually find you. Baseball, they hit it at the weakest fielder, and in football, they do the same thing.
Going to overtime. I want to briefly cover we're going to have 1 point. There's 1 overtime procedure. So it's about 10.
They're playing into the fans of Miami,
exactly.
the quiet end over here.
I know you get the win, but that closed in could be tough on you sometimes down there. So overtime is about to begin. The first ever between these two schools.
Brent, let me quickly update you on the condition of Cromartie. You know, FSU needs to get him back out there. Well, they've taped him up. They put some ace bandages on. He wants to go out, but they have not approved him yet. They're going to see if he can get out there. He's lobbying hard on the sidelines.
All right, meanwhile, the offense for Florida State in regulation, 164 total yards. They ran for 63, passed for 101. They turned it over 3 times. They were sacked 3 times. And here they come, looking for their first touchdown of the night.
They're down to their third guard and their second center, and they don't have their first tight end, Carter, in the football game.
Ricks will open in the shotgun. Incomplete.
It's got to be holding. It's got to be holding up front.
I'll tell you the decision that looks brilliant right now.
He's going for the field goal.
Coker going for that field goal inside the 5-yard line and left them on a 7, which they were able to close out in that last-minute drive led by Brock Berlin. As far as the coaching decision of the night, and a tough one it was, on 4th down.
Number 72 in the offense, 10 yards from the previous spot. Big first down.
I think it's Lunford. Right there, Lunford can't move very well. You see number 72, Ronnie Lunford, in the game because Bobby Meeks, the starter, is out. And he grabbed on a stunt from Miami and got a big penalty.
Sets the screen. Booker down at the 44-yard line. Antrell Roll from nearby Homestead doing it again.
This is going to be a disaster for Florida State if they don't put 3 points on the board. Another 8-yard loss. Try to go to the screen pass. Very difficult against this speed for Miami to do this. And how about Antrell Roll? Splits 2 offensive players and makes the play there.
An 8-yard loss. Lunford still struggling. They're just running out of big bodies over there.
Absolutely. I really don't recall, outside of a slant pass and the one fade route, has Florida State completed a ball like a square in, a square out, a curl route this whole football game against Miami?
Just statistically, Rickson's 11 of 27 for 93 yards and 2 interceptions. Washington has rushed for 44 yards, Booker for 38. Thorpe has caught 4 passes for 27 yards, and that's a look at just the raw numbers for this offense that has been unable to produce a touchdown here tonight. Second down and a whole bunch.
You gotta think field goal now if you're Florida State. You must move the chains, move the ball a little bit.
Wide open. Inside the 30-yard line is Thorpe, and he has been their leading receiver tonight. So Alfonso was wide open that time, Gary. I'd go back and tell him to get open.
There's the square in. Finally something across the middle that isn't a slant. Coming across, beautiful throw from Chris Ricks. He had pressure in his face as he let this one go right in the teeth of the zone. That's what you have to do. Risk reward. You got to throw it over the middle to get those yards.
Bobbles a snap.
Oh, no.
Loose.
Not even going to get a try for a field goal now.
Thomas Carroll recovered the Ricks fumble. And now all Miami needs is a field goal to win this game.
Hit him on his left hip. Wasn't very accurate. What defense do you think Miami played on against those slot that time, Brent? You think those two slot guys were coming? They were. That wasn't that bad of a snap. Caught him on his left hip, but should have been at least not a turnover on the play.
Now Brock Berlin in Miami, a field goal away from an overtime win over Florida State. They'll start at the 25. It's up to the Noles defense.
Gore to the right, Gore to the left.
You've got to give Berlin a ton of credit for that last-minute touchdown drive to produce this overtime. Defense kept him in the game, and now Gore picks his way inside the 20-yard line.
Gore to the right, Gore to the left. Hold on to the ball. You might even try kicking it on third down now. You're in just in case you bobble the snap.
The last Miami overtime game that I remember produced that loss to Ohio State for a national championship back in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. This time against an arch rival on an opening game.
You got to figure they're going to run to the left. Winston and the two tight ends are over here.
Here's Gore, daylight, sprinting, cutting. Miami wins it.
Wow.
Frank Gore.
Congratulations. I mean, this is a great come-from-behind victory.
Well, we played pretty poorly in the first half. We weren't very efficient at all, but our kids fought hard. They never gave up, and it's just a great win.
Tell me a little bit about that last drive by Brock Berlin.
Well, Brock's got a lot of character. He's got a lot of poise. The teammates believe in him. I'm just extremely happy for him.
Did you second-guess yourself when you went for the field goal first?
Because we had three opportunities and made nothing. We were 3 yards out, and we needed to score. We needed to get something out of it.
The streak continues. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Take another look now at Frank Gore, a young man who has missed most of the last 2 seasons with torn ACLs, taking it to the end zone and showing you why. When he came out of high school nearby Coral Gables, that was big league talent, folks.
That was a great call by new offensive coordinator Dan Werner. They were loaded left. Everyone thought they'd run towards the All-American, including me. They run the other way. Florida State must have been thinking the same way. It produces a touchdown.
And the game-tying touchdown was a great call also. All right, our Chevrolet players of the game, Antonio Cromartie of Florida State and Antrell Roll from Miami. In a recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a $1,000 contribution to each university's general scholarship fund. Well, our performance track player of the game was Frank Gore. As you can see, 43 snaps, 18 attempts, 89 yards, and the winning touchdown in a 16-10 Miami victory. For the Noles, Chris Ricks, the first quarterback in college football history to lose to the same team 5 times. Well, a reminder that ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Search ABC Sports. Tomorrow, don't miss a college football triple header beginning at noon Eastern. Again, our final score, Miami with a great comeback beats Florida State 16-10. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports Championship Television.